It's finally time to escape your four walls and see where your four wheels can take you. Sherwood Honda helps you head out on the road the way you want to, with the right vehicle, including freedom-seeking SUVs that give you the versatility to drive where, when, and how you want to. It sure would do some good to get out and stretch your horizons, and sure would be easier with Sherwood Honda.
To the person who doesn't know a dahlia from a dandelion, hi, your Safeway PA announcer here. Don't worry, that's our job. So enjoy our wide range of custom bouquets, build your own, and other seasonal options. Whether you know the names or not, that's the beauty of it. Whether you're celebrating a birthday, an anniversary, or just need a pop of color in the man cave, just say the occasion and our floral team will take care of the rest. For fresh flowers, visit a Safeway near you.
And I met you in the Jason Gregor Show.
And the Croatian class comes to the fore.
On Sports 1440.
Quintero. Boulevard is over the shot. Munoz has done it again. Columbia breakthrough.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
In the center field. Big shot from Machado. Here comes Shanti Padres hero tonight.
What a wonderful Wednesday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch. Thanks as always for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to, if you're watching on YouTube, give the old thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button for Declan. You make his day. It's a simple little thing. But trust me, keeps track every day. When I see those subscriptions go, hey, one or two. It's always growth. That's all you need. A little bit of growth every day. It's nice. So 833-401-1440 is the text line to get through. The Gregor Show, always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Alberta's only 100% place where you can get sports, lottery, instants, all in one stop at PlayAlberta.ca, including your tickets for Lotto 649 tonight, $18 million gold ball jackpot, and the classic jackpot of $5 million. We got lots to discuss. It is 0-0 at the half. Canada taking on Switzerland. If it remains a draw, Canada finishes first in the pool. A draw or a Canada win, they're in. And they would have to lose massively. It's not happening. Like they're first or second. Let's be real here. So unless there's one of the greatest collapses in the second half, and then you would need Bosnia Herzegovina. They got to win by like 6. So come on here. It is unlikely. So there is lots of rumors, man. Lots of rumors going on in the NHL. It's been a wild week. Absolutely wild week in the NHL. Lots of trades. There was another trade last night. Bowen Byram going to the Chicago Blackhawks. In exchange, Buffalo gets the 4th overall pick and Louis Crevier. That was I'd say interesting. I was more interested by how many people felt like this was like the worst trade ever by the Buffalo Sabres. Like I'm a little surprised by that, to be honest. All right, it was Byron and Greenway, so 2 NHL players go to Chicago. They get a first and a second, and then Louis Crevier. I like Louis Crevier, don't get me wrong, but I really like Bowen Byram. And when people talk about, oh, number 4 pick's going to be great, yeah, he was a number 4 overall pick. You're the Chicago Blackhawks. You have Connor Bedard, who is his entry-level deal's done. He's looking for a contract. And you don't really have many offensive defensemen to make him see like, hey, we're building towards something here. Remember that Connor Bedard, before he got injured last year, was top 4 scorer in the NHL heading into almost Christmas time. He had played great. And that was without any real offensive punch on the back end. Bowen Byram, good player. And I'm telling you, Bowen Byram, as a 17-year-old in his draft year, he was running the Vancouver Giants all the way to the WHL final, Game 7 against a very deep, experienced PA Raiders team. And man, he was lights out. Confident. He does not lack belief in his ability. There were some concerns early in his career because of injuries, yes, but the last 2 years, he hasn't missed a game. And he was 21st among all NHL defensemen in 5-on-5 scoring last year. And that's with Rasmus Dahlin getting more of the minutes with their top guy. And he was still 21st. So I like this trade for both teams. Buffalo feel, hey, they get a big defenseman back in Crevier. He's not as offensive, but they don't necessarily need more offense. The Blackhawks needed a top pair D-man. And that's what I think Bowen Byram is. Top pair defenseman. He's already won a cup, so he's got playoff experience. He was very good in the playoffs for Buffalo this past year. I like that deal. People who think the number 4 is going to be an infinitely better player than Bowen Byram. When? Like Chicago, at some point, when you have a rebuild, you need to start having NHL players, is what you have, right? Cons in Switzerland score. Did I miss it?
They did, yes. Vargas unmarked, posting in. Nice finish. Not much Kerpo can do there.
Like the first minute of the second half?
Yeah, it was a quick rush off the start.
Oh,
yeah.
my goodness. Brutal start here.
Canada's still sleeping.
Wasn't even up looking. I was kind of like, oh, this commence is that's not a great start for Canada, but now they got to come back. We'll see them attack, and away we go. But lots of rumors out there for trades. I was able to confirm 3 teams for sure that I know are on Darnell Nurse's list: Philly, Boston, Pittsburgh. That's for sure. Now, there hasn't been a lot of talk there. It's the conversations have gone on, of course. Stan Bowman's doing his due diligence. He spoke to those teams, and they've spoke to him. Nothing's happened as of yet, but teams are looking, and a lot of times is you make a trade when you feel like we've exhausted all of our options. We've looked at everything. We feel comfortable. This is the best deal we can make at this time, and away you go. So, you know what? I'm sure, like any trade, there's no deadline here. Ideally, yes, Edmonton would like it done before free agency, but trades have happened after. Heck, Zach Werenski's going to sit down with the Columbus Blue Jackets after the draft, which seems a little odd to me, but nonetheless, that is what's going to happen. Also, interesting that out of Carolina, there's suggestions that they might be considering trading Alexander Nikishin, the young 24-year-old defenseman. As an older rookie, he was pretty sheltered numbers if you look at his possession numbers, and that system makes a lot of guys look good. He's under contract. Like, he doesn't have any numbers that really can command a big ticket per se. So we'll see. But also, if you look at the Oilers, now it's a kind of focus on the draft. It's still all the teams stay at their home base, but Andrew Peard, one of the PR guys for the Oilers, he goes, as well as one membership of the management team, one member of the management team, and they're there to represent the Oilers. Obviously, they're not going to be busy on day one. Currently, in the NHL, 10 teams don't have a first-round pick. 10. The Blues have 4 first-rounders. The Sharks have 3. You look at Yeah, so St. Louis has pick 11, 15, 16, and 29. San Jose has 3 picks. Vancouver, 2 picks. The Rangers, 2. Calgary, 2. Ottawa, 2. And now Buffalo also has 2. Teams without a first-rounder: Anaheim, Colorado, Dallas, Chicago, Detroit, Edmonton, Florida, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, and Vegas. So, and Ottawa does have 2 picks, but they can't trade the number 32 pick. That was part of the deal. Remember, they had that pick taken away, and they got their first-round pick back, but they got it given to them at the end of the first round, and they can't use it as a trade piece. So we know one team for sure will be holding on to their first-round selection. I would think the Toronto Maple Leafs will be holding on to their first-round selection. I don't see them trading it. Mike Greer, an interesting comment from the GM of the Sharks. They were having a media avail with the Sharks media, and he said he has an interesting offer for number 2. Usually the GM just comes out and says, you know what? There's no serious offers here. We're going to make the pick. But he says he has an interesting one, which of course has a lot of people wondering, like, because when I look at that deal the Sharks made for Eklund, and I'm like, Eklund was a 7th overall pick a few years ago. The guy went from 43 points to 53 to 58. Like, you're a 50-point player in today's NHL. You're a legit top 6 player. That's what you are. He's done it 2 years in a row. He's a young player. But you trade him for the 9th? Why? That's honestly my question. Like, I don't get it. Unless they've got something else, and maybe that's the interesting trade he's talking about, that the San Jose Sharks are looking to acquire legit NHL players. Now, there's lots of speculation. It's Columbus. Zach Werenski. We shall see. I don't know if that's the case. I would, based on, that kind of conflicts with some other reports, but we'll see. The Edmonton Elks are on a plane as we speak. They are flying to Winnipeg to take on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers tomorrow night. Right now, weather looks good. Now it's Winnipeg, and we've seen games delayed. Man, when it rains in Winnipeg sometimes, man, they get a thunderstorm. It is nuts. So I can't say with certainty, considering the Elks have not had a game yet this season that doesn't involve heavy rain. But the Elks will have some lineup changes. Mogensen's going to start at the middle linebacker position. Nick Anderson is out. Haladic will come in. He's going to be the long snapper. Also, Kettle will come in. He'll make his CFL debut. And I'm telling you, number 80, all the guy did in camp and preseason was make plays. I'm curious to see if he gets in. I spoke to Cody Fajardo. We'll play that interview a little bit later on today about just the offense. The Elks really like the second quarter, really like the third quarter. What do they got to do to maybe not be as passive? Because the fourth quarter in both games hasn't been great. Even against Ottawa, against Montreal, they had a chance to put the hammer down. Now, the good news is they've been leading. And when they're leading, you're like, hey, you want to run the ball. You want to waste time on the clock. We got Justin Rankin. It's good. But if the other team knows it, sometimes you still got to force them to at least respect other options. So we'll talk to Cody about that. Tamari Fox also draws back in the lineup as Bamimi comes out. So those look to be the changes for the green and gold heading into their game. Real, like, starting, Mogensen's the big one on defense. Up front, you're going to have all the same starters on offense. Long snapper, though, don't underestimate the importance of the long snapper. So hopefully the special teams will not have any serious exchange problems. Cons, we saw Mogensen last year. We've seen Nick Anderson. Now, Anderson's better at blitzing as a linebacker. Mogensen's better at coverage downfield. How do you think the Anderson for Mogensen switch is going to impact, if anything, the defense?
I mean, I think it's a loss in obvious rushing situations. You love having Nick Anderson. I mean, he's smaller. He's stout. I shouldn't say small, shorter. Can kind of hide behind the lineman and then just pop out and meet the running back in the hole. But I think Mogensen, for him, it's what an opportunity to prove yourself. And, I try to find the positive in these things. With Nick Anderson going down, it's not great. But, if you have a guy who gets more experience and more reps in his career, that's only going to benefit he and the team. So it's a drop off. It's a loss for sure, but I don't think it's going to be insurmountable by any means. I do think that Mogensen is a guy who can step in there. I think he took long snap reps as well last game. Like, shout out to him for that. I think he'll be able to fill the void in this time frame for however long it takes with the injury for Anderson. But yeah, drop off, but I think it's okay. I think they'll find a way to make it work here. And one of the things that this Elks team has done, Gregor, in the last couple of years here is start to build up that depth, right? So I think it's an opportunity here for him to really show what he can do.
Yeah. I look, hey, Gregor, what do you think the Oilers are looking? Is it just a salary dump? No, I've said it right from the get-go. The Edmonton Oilers are in no rush to just give away Darnell Nurse for nothing. It's not happening. They're not just going to say, oh, we're going to get rid of the salary. No, because there's not a ton of, like, just because you open up cap space, then you got to use other assets to get people in those spots. We're overpaying free agency. It's not a great idea at all. So, we had DJ Smith in the conversation yesterday. And now, remember, talking glowingly about a player publicly can also mean that you look at him and say, hey, I like him, but I'm also maybe trying to push out their what we like, about him. So maybe other teams say, oh, geez, yeah, that's right. Like, you're not going to badmouth a player after he's asked for a trade. That makes no sense. So not a good start to the second half for Canada. It is now 2-0. 2-0. Don't like it at all. Now, Canada's going to move on through, but still, this is their biggest test so far, the tournament, and it is not. The first half was okay. Switzerland had the best scoring chance there, and now they've scored twice early in the second half. So not ideal at all. But there's been lots of games in this tournament with lots of goals in the second half, so we'll see if Canada can maybe have a great comeback. Hey, Gregor. The Sharks and the Oilers, I haven't heard that San Jose is on Darnell Nurse's trade list at this juncture. So I would be surprised any trade involving him unless he change it. And that's the other thing, right? If you only submit, now I know 3 names for sure, and I've heard rumblings that maybe there's another 1 or 2, but I can't confirm that. I can confirm 3. So, but either way, the list is pretty short. Well, so that limits your opportunities. And maybe he wouldn't be the first player who asks for a trade who doesn't get traded right away. That's just the reality of the league, man. Because remember that next year, the Oilers automatically have a bigger list because Nurse has to submit his no trade list to them, and it's a much bigger number next year. And so they might look and say, "Hey, would we want to facilitate a trade for you? Sure, but you got to maybe kind of work with us here a little bit, right?" That's just how it is, because next year it goes up to a 10-team list. So, and it's actually there's a 10 no trade list, which means like there's 10-team no trade list, right? So you can't get traded to 10 teams. That means there's lots on the list you could do. So the Oilers will listen and they'll try to make a deal if it works for them. And all it takes is one phone call. Something changes. You lose a player you didn't think you're going to get, maybe in free agency, anything else. We'll see. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We'll take a quick break. Coming up on the program today, we will hear from Mike Rupp. We got Paul Sura, Cam Tate, Sam Cosentino, Mark Spector, Struddy will be by. Also, Quentin Siffeldine's going to join us because there's a massive event that many of you over time have played in or want to play in, and you still might. So we'll get to that coming up later on in the show. The Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Albertans love to debate the best way to enjoy summer sports.
No. Playing on the field is the best, man.
No way. Watching from the sidelines, way more relaxing.
You're both crazy. Checking out the game from the bro zone is where it's at.
But there's one thing every sports fan agrees on.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Wherever you catch the action, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky. Because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
I've got some good news if you've been thinking about a heavy-duty truck. The 2026 Ram 2500 Black Express is now at St. Albert Dodge. You've got 20-inch black aluminum wheels, black Mopar side steps, body color, bumpers and grille, and a Sport Performance hood. Available in all the colors for $68,990. Plus, new this year, Ram's best-in-class 10-year powertrain warranty. Now's the time. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Everything is going to be okay. If you're feeling the weight of too much debt, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or a consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal will eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we've got your back.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
You've got better things to do than wait for an oil change. Jiffy Lube gets you in and out fast. No appointment necessary. All you have to do is roll into a location near you, and we'll take care of the rest. Every full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube is warranty approved and comes with a 20-point visual inspection, making sure you get back on the road safely. Find your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca.
For decades, the pioneer spirit of Alberta has been exemplified in the chuck wagon racing legacy of the Dorchester family. And today, you can experience it every time you hit the links. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course is in top mid-season form. Enjoy the longer days on this historic 18-hole course near Pigeon Lake. Stunning views, reasonably priced, and only 40 minutes from Edmonton on newly paved roads. Play the course built with pioneer spirit and family pride. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course. Book your tee time today at dorchestergolf.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by UL. Helping you finish your electrical project is their goal. From pot lights to electrical panels, the gear you need is at ul.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. ul.ca, your partners in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Man, is Alfonso playing? No, didn't think so. 2:23. Welcome back Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having an awesome Wednesday. If you are a big fan of Canada soccer, not a great start. Not a great start for them in the second half as they are trailing suddenly 2-0 after being 0-0 at the half. So they're going to need a big comeback here, or they'll be finishing second in their group, which means they will then play in LA do they play as quick as Sunday? I think it might be on Sunday or Monday. So I know had they won or had a draw, then they would they'd get more of a rest and they'd play in Vancouver. So we'll see where that goes. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Also, Elliot Friedman had tweeted out that he feels that the Alex Tuch has been traded. It's a sign and trade to Washington, just waiting to see what other pieces are coming back. Cons, I haven't seen that, but he's getting an 8-year deal at $84 million. So just over $10 million per season for Alex Tuch. Let's discuss that now as we go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. Welcome to cone season at McDonald's. Vanilla cones are just $1 plus tax all summer long, exclusively in the McDonald's app. Download it today and get a $1 cone at McDonald's as we welcome in former NHLer, ace analyst on the NHL Network, and my co-host on the Daily Faceoff Rundown podcast, Mike Rupp, joins us. Rupper, good afternoon, my man. How you doing?
I'm good, buddy. Crazy couple days here. Looking like it's going to be continuing moving forward.
I can tell you're serious, Rupper. You've been putting in a lot of work. Your hat's on backwards. I don't think I've ever seen you with a hat on backwards. So this is where I know, okay, I'm locked in. I'm ready to go. Let's start with the news. Alex Tuch to the Capitals for 10 sheets after they acquired Jordan Kyrou yesterday from St. Louis.
Yeah, I think the automatic reaction is going to be trying to read the tea leaves on Alex Ovechkin. Does this mean, he's not back? I've always thought, and they've been pretty clear, I think Ted Leonsis has been very clear as the owner for years and years, that Ovi will always have a place to play in Washington. So I think if Ovi wants to come back, he can still come back, even though you bring those two pieces in. That may change some things as far as how he's being used. But, this is the Capitals team that wanted to make an impact here. I think that you're going to get a lot of people, like whatever it is, just over north of 10 a year for Alex Tuch. Yeah. There's a lot of people saying, hey, man, in 7-game series, he had bagels across the board. He had no points. Like, he wasn't very effective, and then that would hurt him. I never thought it would hurt him, and we're seeing that it did not, because it's the perfect storm for him, because there's been no comps on the open market, and there's really no high-end forwards available except for a guy like that. Remember, we've been talking just over the years of how many, this was supposed to be that big, massive summer, and that's been, for the past calendar year, been kind of fading pretty quickly. So someone was going to pay him it, and it looks like the Washington Capitals did.
Yeah. I like Tuch. I don't know if I love him at $10.5 million. So definitely not an 8-year deal. You know me on 8-year deals, Rupper. I like very few of them are going to age very well, but obviously the Capitals feel like, you know what? They've got a lot of young players coming, right? So now they've got Tuch, and they've got Dubois, and they've got Jordan Kyrou, all making $8 million. Tom Wilson. Then there's Dylan Strome. He's got 2 years left at $5 million. Alexei Protas is a great deal at 3.3 for 3 more years. And then they got like Ryan Leonard before he's an RFA. They got Ilya Protas coming, and they got Hudson. They've got like a boatload of good young prospects that I feel that will come in there and be in a situation, Rupper, where they don't. I know everybody wants a lot of opportunity, and it's good in one sense, but a lot of times it's hard for guys to develop it, right? Like Cole Hudson will come in on the back end. I don't think he's going to be rushed to be great. They've still got Andrew Cristal out of Kelowna. I think they really like him. as a young guy in the organization. He just put up 60 points in the AHL, for goodness sakes. Like, that's damn hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, you just talk about, I mean, just even going back to I think the John Carlson trade kind of caught some people off guard. Maybe that it happened this past year, maybe not moving forward, just trading them off to Anaheim. I think on that back end, they're comfortable with some of the pieces they have, and they've got this youthful. They were that team though the last number of years, and I think they surprised a lot of us a couple years ago getting into the playoffs, where they were that team that was kind of retooling on the fly, and they did a really good job of it. I don't think they get enough attention to what they've done, and this past year was not the greatest of years for them, but they just show that they're able to just on the fly, just kind of, hey, let's infuse some different looks here. Let's figure out how we can infuse these younger players, like some of them that you mentioned, have worked out really well for them. And then they have these reclamation projects. They have the Pierre-Luc Dubois, you could probably throw in Dylan Strome as that too, and it's worked out really well. So they've done a good job of putting some risk out there, developing young guys, and also swinging big like they did with these two trades.
A lot of the other trades, Nemec goes. Let's start there. What'd you make of the Nemec to Calgary trade?
Simon Nemec is I don't want to just say it was good on both sides because I think it's TBD. We're not going to know. I don't think Sonny Mehta and the New Jersey Devils are planning on using these picks as picks. It's currency for them. I think they're going to turn around and do something bigger, so we can't really judge what this trade means. I mean, Simon Nemec was somewhat expendable on the back end. It was either probably him or Dougie Hamilton that they would have to get out from under. Nemec would get a return like we saw, probably more so than Dougie Hamilton and the price tag with him. So the Devils standpoint, we don't know what it's going to be ultimately, but from Calgary's, I like the risk. I will say this. I did it on, I was talking on a Calgary outlet yesterday when it went down, where I don't believe Simon Nemec today is a top 4 defenseman on a good team. Now, can he be that on a good team? And that's what the hopes are, is that Calgary, they hope they're a good team for years to come. He can maybe get there. He's going to have to put some work in and make some adjustments in his game. But we also have learned that when he gets force-fed minutes in situations, he is a different defenseman. And what I mean by that is, in New Jersey, he wasn't always given the minutes. He was given them this past year, and he had some really great moments of getting involved offensively. Had some big-time moments. I think he had 3 OT winners. Like, he's a guy that will push the pace and play if you give him a green light. But there's certain things of his game that his defending is not good enough. He's got to find another level of his defending. But we got to see, and you got to smoke out what he is. I'm not saying that he is a second overall bust. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying he's got work to do. He needs the minutes. He's going to get fed the minutes in Calgary. We'll see what he could do with it.
The Eklund trade, from a San Jose perspective, is perplexing to me. He was a 7th overall pick a few years ago. He's had back-to-back 50-point seasons, and he's not playing with the best player all the time. And he still put up 50 points. And they trade him for the 9th. Like, there's got to be another domino to fall for this trade to make sense to me, Rupper, or what am I missing?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think the first thing when it went down, I was thinking to myself, all right, well, I never really firmly believed that San Jose was going to pick Stenberg at 2 with all the forwards that they have. Like, something's going to have to give here. So it kind of clears one of them out. Then all of a sudden I'm like, all right, well, it's going to be Stenberg. Like, now they're going to go and take that 2nd overall pick. And then I saw some quotes from Mike Rupp, maybe just trying to get people off the scent a little bit, saying, he's a great player, but 6'3" right shot defenseman that can skate well, don't you can't pluck those off trees either. And so they got some decisions to make. I'd be shocked if they went with the defenseman at 2, because I feel like they should have traded back in order to do that. But we don't see that very often in hockey. You've mentioned that before. So, yeah, I don't know. A good situation. I like what San Jose's doing. That one kind of caught me off guard, but it makes a lot of sense, I think, if you go Stenberg at 2.
Yeah, but why couldn't you have went Stenberg at 2 anyway? Why'd you have to get rid of Eklund? That's, I guess, the part I don't understand.
I mean, that's fair as well. I just think that maybe, I mean, they had a lot of, it almost gets to a situation where you have too much talent at the forward position. Like someone's not going to get the minutes. And the way we just kind of talked about Simone Nemitz, like not really smoking out what he is as a second overall defenseman with the Devils, a lot of that had to be chalked up to he wasn't getting the ice time, wasn't getting the touches, wasn't getting the reps. They had Luke Hughes in front of him. They had Dougie Hamilton in front of him. So he wasn't getting power play time. And to transition that to San Jose, I don't think you want to get in that type of position where you just have so many high-end players. Now all of you're stunting their growth in some ways. That's at least what I would kind of look at it, or how I would look at it. But, Mike Greer might be playing chess here and have a bigger move that maybe we don't see.
Yeah, no, very true. That's why I'm wondering if something else is maybe brewing. What about the Bowen Byram Chicago deal?
That one was a little surprising to me. I don't know what your thoughts were on that. I know a lot of people and social were just kind of saying, I mean, you're talking about a pretty high pick that you're automatically kind of saying today that you don't believe will be better than Bowen Byram, who I do like Bowen Byram a lot. I thought that was a very hefty price to pay. And so this is where you rely on your pro scouts, your people that are kind of influencing the Chicago Blackhawks and saying, hey, listen, like this guy's never been the guy. He's always played in second fiddle in Colorado. He was second fiddle in Buffalo. I thought he looked really strong in the playoffs for the Sabres. But maybe this is just their evaluation where he will get those looks and a lot of opportunity here in Chicago. And we believe that he's going to find another level. That's the only way that it makes sense to me, is that you firmly believe that Bowen Byram has another gear, another level. If it's just Bowen Byram is a finished product now, it doesn't make much sense, according to me.
See, it's interesting. I look at this deal for Chicago, Rupper, and I look at the number 4, and I think like people forget the number 4 overall pick isn't a lock. Yeah, you can get Kale McCarrs. You can also get Jesse Puljujärvi, right? Like that, and that's not like it's not a guaranteed thing. Bowen Byram's a legit NHL defenseman. He's 21st already in 5-on-5 scoring without playing the top line minutes. Chicago desperately needs an offensive defenseman to help Connor Bedard. I think you had to sell Connor Bedard a little bit on, hey, man, we're going to get you some help from the back end. Like this guy was a freedom fighter in Chicago last year till he got hurt. Like he was right up there with Celebrini, McDavid, McKinnon, and Draisaitl in points, and then unfortunately got hurt. I really like Bowen Byram, but I remember Bowen Byram as a 17-year-old Rupper in Vancouver. He was their main guy at 17 back then in the CHL, which was hard. And he carried his team all the way to Game 7 of the WHL final against an experienced PA team. And I watched that series and I was like, this kid is unreal. And he had some injuries. He never got to be the main guy yet, but I think he can be. I actually really like this trade for Chicago. They gave up a lot, no question, but they had to start winning. You can't just keep, we're going to get another young player. Great, we get another young player. At some point, you need to get a guy who's going to help your lineup today moving forward, because they got a boatload of young defensemen.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't dislike it. I just think that you cannot, for who Bowen Byram is today, that to me it's not good enough. And I think this is where they're at. I haven't spoken to anybody in Chicago, but I would firmly have to throw out there that they are saying he's got another level. And if he could find another level, that's what we're happy with, is with his, his age, his experience that he has. It could work out very well for the Chicago Blackhawks. Just, I think it caught a lot of people off guard that you're going with that type of currency, 4th overall, seems pretty significant.
Mike Rupp joins us here on Sports 1440. So Rupper, now there's 10 teams without a first round pick, and who knows if that changes between now and Friday with all the moves going on. I know in Edmonton they announced the Babcock signing. What's your thoughts? What did you take away from his press conference?
Yeah, listen. I don't know how it's going to work out. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that he's not, at least from people I've talked to, a good coach, because I think he has been very good with his X's and O's and things that I've heard over the years of him as a coach. Now, there's a lot of detracting things against Mike Babcock as well. I think I'm watching that press conference yesterday, and I was expecting, probably like most people, for there to be some sort of acknowledgement of some sort. I felt like it was very strange, but kind of on par to what we thought. I mean, speaking in the third person, did that again. It's something that I think that it's Mike Babcock's Mike Babcock. And I started thinking about it too. I'm like, maybe we look at it in a way like, and I'm not trying to make light of how he's made some players' lives miserable. I also think that there's a level with some of the complaints where people just aren't used to having coaches lean on them certain ways as well. There's a little bit of both. But I will say, just as far as the way we spoke and have spoken about certain players in the NHL, like I use Brad Marchand as an example. Remember when Marchand came into the league, it was like, oh, this guy's got to clean up. He's got to do this. Like, oh, he's a good player now. He needs to stop with these type of antics. And I was starting thinking to myself, like, that's who he is. And that's what kind of makes him great, makes him Brad Marchand. So, he kind of has always had that element. And now he does it like on social media, spouting off verbally. But the point being is that some of the things that make the player really good are the things that you don't always love. And I think with a Mike Babcock or a coach, some of the things that make him Mike Babcock and have this cachet to him to make him the highest paid coach in hockey when he signs with the Toronto Maple Leafs, set the bar there, and all these things that kind of bring that level that his name brings or has in the past, it's kind of because he's an asshole. So, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. So we can't expect him just to come in here now and be totally different. That's what I took from the press conference, is he's not changing. And that's who he is. And this leadership group sounds to be on board with that. So it may work. It may not work. All I'm saying is it was very evident that Mike Babcock wasn't apologizing to anything.
Rupper, do you ever talk in the third person?
Is a joke. Not in real life, I don't believe, but that's him. That's what he does.
Oh, I gotta chuckle with it. Yeah. If you're not all in on Mike Babcock, then like, oh God, it's
I mean, I was who was I listening to on that? I mean, it was I think Ryan Whitney was kind of talking about it, and it was pretty true and pretty accurate. Like, you're watching it almost like it was kind of like a skit. It was kind of like a parody account that we would like watch someone imitate Mike Babcock. And that's how the press conference would go. And that's seemingly how it went. So again, that doesn't mean that this isn't going to work out, that he's not going to be the right coach. All I'm saying is he didn't quiet any of the whispering and any of the yelling and any of the, this is not a good guy. None of that was, they didn't throw any water on that in that press conference.
No, and honestly, I didn't expect. I know there was lots of people. Are you surprised and apologized? Like, no, I'm sorry. Like, some of the answers perplex me a little bit about something. It was his wife is the reason now that he left. She told him to leave. I'm like, what? That was a little odd, but nonetheless, we move forward. I think I've heard lots of good things about DJ Smith. DJ Smith has really good insight about what he wants to do on the penalty kill, and we will see some changes as far as their top guys playing less minutes, and that's great that their top guys play less minutes. Like, it's a minute and a half. Okay. Like, it's not like suddenly these guys are going to be 15-minute-a-night players.
Yeah.
By any stretch of the imagination. And, I'm sure it'll help if guys get a little bit more time, but you need guys then that are going to do it. The one thing though, was listening to DJ Smith talk about their system's going to be a lot more guys driving to the net. Cause if there's one thing that's irritated the hell out of me for years in Edmonton, they don't, other than Zach Hyman, they don't have a ton of net front presence very often, right? Not a lot, a little bit, but not nearly as much as they should. So I'll be curious to see how that goes. Starting, I guess, in late September, Rupper, earlier season start this year. I think the season's going to begin on the 30th, if I'm not mistaken. So, or maybe in the 29th. So we'll see. Have yourself an awesome day. We'll talk to you on the rundown tomorrow, and hopefully there'll be a few more trades by then.
Awesome. I'm sure there will be, and enjoy, buddy. This is good stuff right now.
There you go. That's Mike Rupp from the NHL Network. When we come back, hey, the NHL draft. We're going to talk some draft next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. Cool with AC or cool with the heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place in Ice District.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Boxing Day is back at the Brick. Find amazing deals all weekend long. Like save $1,000 off a genuine leather reclining sofa. Save up to 40% off select mattresses. Plus, get a 10% instant credit to use towards sleep accessories. And find the lowest prices of the year on select beds, dining tables, and chairs. Don't miss the return of Boxing Day this Saturday and Sunday only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Three for the Tillerman is an intimate tribute to the music of Cat Stevens, presented in a warm acoustic setting with rich harmonies and timeless songs. Featuring favorites like Wild World, Father and Son, and Morning Is Broken. This show offers a relaxed, close-up concert experience. Don't miss Three for the Tillerman, October 21st at the Horowitz Theater. Tickets available now at horowitzevents.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
.247. We continue on. See how much extra time they have here. Canada down the final few minutes of regulation time. Trailing by one, struggling to see any really concerted effort. But as we know in soccer, all you need is one good opportunity. And who knows, they can put it in the back of the net. Because if they get a tie, This is why it's so massive, because if they get a draw, they would play next Thursday. If they lose, they play Sunday. That is a lot of extra rest in between. A lot of extra rest. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Time to talk a little draft. Massive draft last night in the NBA. NHL draft goes on Friday as we get to our NBA report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home with the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your furnace or your AC unit. Stay cool all summer at legacyheating.ca. As Paul Sir, the host of Hoop City every Saturday here on Sports 1440 for 2 hours from 10 until noon, is going to join us to recap the NBA draft. Paul, good afternoon. How you doing, my man?
Doing great, Jason. How are you?
I am pretty good. What did you make? A lot of people are like, oh, the top 4 picks are all very good, and DeBansa, Peterson, Boozer, and Wilson. Where do you come out? Is there one that you like better than the others?
Well, honestly, I think from the start, the guy with the most upside, and it almost seems like an unlimited amount of upside to me, is DeBansa. Just because, he's 6'8", 6'9", legitimately bare feet, 7'3" wingspan, real effective scorer. Not a great three-point shooter, but not far off from being an adequate three-point shooter, and his ability to get to the rim is very impressive. He's the guy that I think out of the draft I could look at and say, without seeing how he adjusts to the NBA, Jason, I think this is a guy that probably can step in and be an all-star eventually. I think he's going to be very, very good. Peterson has all the talent in the world. We just have no idea what kind of a mindset he carries with him. I mean, he only worked out for Washington in the pre-draft workouts. He was very odd in his selective way of playing at Kansas. Drove Bill Self nuts, but super talented. So we'll see. Boozer, I think, is that kind of just rock solid player. 18 to 22 a game, lots of rebounds, great passer. But the guy and Caleb Wilson, we just don't know. We just have no idea how skilled he can become. He maybe has the most raw talent of any of the top 4, and that's saying a lot when you look at guys like Peterson and DeBansa. He just doesn't have the refined game. And, when people go in and they're young, they say, well, they can develop. Well, yeah, maybe they can, but maybe they don't. And if they don't, they're just a real talented guy who never really quite works into the level that you think he's going to work at. So my choice out of the gate is DeBansa.
Okay. When you look overall, fits matter, teammates matter. I think for some players, is there anybody that you feel is going to be an impact player right away next year because of who they have around them on their new NBA team?
Well, one guy I'm really curious about is Ade Mara, the Spanish player that transferred from UCLA to Michigan, who's 7'3", and he's going to the OKC Thunder. I'm curious about what he'll be able to do for the Thunder alongside, say, Chet Holmgren, because the Thunder are going to have a big decision to make on Hartenstein. They're going to have to pay him, and the way that their salary structure is shaping up, they're going to have to make some hard decisions, and he may be one of those hard decisions. So I would think that OKC would want a 7'3" rim protector to go in, play alongside Holmgren. Like I said, take the pressure off Holmgren, who weighs about 140 pounds, to have to play in the center. Even though he is an all-defensive selection, he's just very slight, as everybody knows, and just not designed for the rugged physical play that the NBA demands day to day. So that's one guy that I think will be very interesting. What I think is interesting about this draft, though, is there are a number of potential NBA-ready guys that, depending on who signs in the offseason, who teams keep, who they move, because one of the things, Jason, we're seeing right now is the panic within the NBA because of the way the salaries are structured with the first and second aprons.
Yeah.
Teams are looking for any way to move players out. So young guys are going to get, I think, an extraordinary chance quicker than maybe they would have in the past.
Yeah, that's fair. What can you tell our listeners about the new Toronto Raptor draft pick, Alan Graves, out of Santa Clara?
Alan Graves is, like, the more you think things change, the more they stay the same. If he isn't a Raptors type draft pick, he just like fits that mold. Versatile, long, again, a 7'3" wingspan, very skilled and getting better. Real good 3-point shooter, it looks like. So if his shot is quick enough to work in the NBA, I think they get another like highly versatile player who can knock down threes, but also create on the way to the rim and also defend. So once again, we see the Raptors and their positionless, long, athletic, multi-spot player. Only this guy can shoot it. And that probably is what they've been lacking in the past.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say to you, like, I'm like, if they don't have a shooter here, what the hell are they doing? Because it's the one thing the Raptors can't do is they can't consistently shoot from the outside.
100%. Can't consistently shoot from the outside. Graves looks like he can. The Raptors are going to they're going to be desperate to find a home for Jakob Poeltl. There's all kinds of talk right now that they might try to make a deal and package Poeltl together with Grady Dick and move them to Milwaukee. That might be a good thing because Turner can shoot the three. He's been extremely underwhelming in Milwaukee, but like we saw with Poeltl, he's a great rim protector, great hands around the basket, but in the playoffs, nobody guards him because he can't shoot outside of like literally 4 feet. And so the Raptors are going to look to move him. And if they're able to do that and get another athletic guy who can shoot the three along now with Graves, now that starts to address that gap in their team and might make them a bit more dangerous.
Very much so. When you look at day 2 of the draft, and hey, we've seen it in recent years that some teams can make some huge picks on day 2, and lots of the second rounders though have been traded multiple times. When you look at who has these picks, the interesting one to me is the Spurs are picking. The Knicks have the first pick in the second round, and the Spurs have the 5th one, and the Thunder have 37. So you've got some of the best teams and the Thunder have a pretty good track record of finding good value second round picks.
Boy, they sure do. And, you always look for the Thunder that when they make a choice, you think this choice, first or second round, has a chance to be good and be effective. So they're going to be very, I would look for the same from them. Second round does have some intriguing picks. The Knicks probably should choose Henry Vassar from North Carolina, 7 foot, 225, another big that can back up Karl Anthony Towns, play alongside Mitch Robinson, because Robinson can't shoot a lick at the free throw line as effective as he is in so many other ways. So he's probably the best fit, but they probably will take Isaiah Evans from Duke because he's the best athlete. So that's going to be interesting. How many teams are strategic? A few players that I really like in the second round is there's a Canadian that played for the University of Houston, Emmanuel Sharp, undersized point guard, but a really good, tough player. So he might be another one. He might be another one out of Houston, and Toronto certainly knows what this is like to get an undersized Houston guard and be able to get a kid like that. So I think that Emmanuel might be the first Canadian, maybe the only Canadian that'll be drafted this year. But there's another player I really like, and that's Richie Saunders from BYU, who unfortunately tore his knee up in the NCAAs, but he's a real dynamic wing scorer and could really shoot. He's a guy I'd love to see the Raptors get. I don't know if they know what to do with him exactly, but man, oh man, this guy can come off screens. He can shoot it from deep. He's really dynamic and pretty darn athletic. But the thing that makes him special is he can shoot on the move in traffic, and he elevates on his shot really nicely. So somebody could get a really good player there. And there's a bunch of other guys that can just flat out play. So it's a very deep draft with a lot of talented guys. So the second round could have some gems. I don't see any Jokic's in there, but you never know.
Yeah, that's true. You never know. Paul, what's coming up on the show on Saturday?
Well, we're going to do a couple of we're going to have on Ryan Wolstad from the Toronto Sun. We're going to talk about the Raptors draft after we see what happens in the second round, and if by Saturday any trades have taken place, or if any trade rumors are really gathering steam and momentum. I'm also going to have Dave Drabiak on. He's the executive director, my successor at the Alberta Basketball Association. We're going to talk about the Alberta Basketball Hall of Fame inaugural gala on August 29th. I'm really, very, very excited for basketball to have its own Hall of Fame in the province of Alberta. And then I'm also going to have on for some Alberta content, Kyle Landry, who is from Calgary. He's an assistant coach at the University of Calgary, but he was recently an assistant on the U18 Canadian team that won the FIBA Americas, beat the Americans in the finals for the gold medal for the first time in Canadian basketball history. And Kyle played with my son Steve at Northern Arizona, phenomenal player, had great pro career, now doing a great job at Calgary on our provincial teams and for FIBA under 18 Canada national teams.
Awesome stuff, Paul. We appreciate it. Have yourself a great day. We'll talk to you again soon.
Enjoy the sunshine, Jason.
There you go. That's Paul Sir from Hoop City every Saturday here in Sports 1440. We got another trade in the NHL. Jack Drury is going from Colorado to Nashville, according to Frank Saravalli. No return yet for the Avs. I don't think it's going to be much, but clearly the former GM in Colorado likes some players, as this is now the second trade he's made with his former team. Interesting. So him and Sakic, no ill feeling. Away they go. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Let's take a quick break. Let's get to the comment. Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. At Fountain Tire, then they say they're on the road together. They mean it. From tires, wheels, oil changes to automotive repairs. Go to fountaintire.com. Learn more.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Just wrapping up in Vancouver, Canada falls to Switzerland 2-1 in their final game of the opening round at the World Cup. With that, they will play on Sunday against the second-place team from Group A, Los Angeles. 1 o'clock. The other game from Group B had Qatar falling to Bosnia-Herzegovina 3-1. Still to come today. Haiti taking on Morocco while Brazil meets Scotland. Then you got Czechia up against Mexico with South Korea taking on South Africa. From the NHL, forward Alex Tuch heading to the Capitals in a sign and trade with a third-round pick going back to the Sabres, the Caps, and Tuch now reaching an extension. 8 years, $84 million. That's a cap hit of $10.5 million per season, while Frank Saravalli reporting the Avs are trading Jack Drury to the Preds. Major League Baseball, the Blue Jays are in action hosting the Astros. First pitch 5:07. We'll join that game in progress following the Gregor Show on our AM feed. Right now, Red Sox up on the Rockies 6-3, while the Orioles have a 5-2 lead over the Angels in the third. Guardians, White Sox just getting going. They are scoreless. And round 2 of the NBA draft goes tonight starting at 6 with the Knicks on the clock. The Raptors will make the 50th overall selection. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll talk some poker with Quentin Sippeldine, and we'll get to the stats of the day. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Looking for a truck that can handle anything Alberta throws your way? Wolf GMC Buick has the offers to get you behind the wheel. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 models. Plus, trade in an eligible 2015 or newer pickup and receive a $1,000 truck trade-in bonus on select Sierra models. Ask about bonus offers for heroes, students, recent graduates, and more. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love, better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's AquaCentral reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis, they're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
Hi, I'm Colin Livingston, president of CanTorque. We've been tightening bolts and redefining our industry for 25 years. Yes, a quarter century, and we're just getting started. Check us out at CanTorque.com. Our tools age better than
How are you?
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Photographers, start your cameras. Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest is back. We're asking you to show us the people, places, and moments that made you glad you chose this rural life. Maybe it's the view from your farm, a walk down Main Street, neighbors pitching in, a weekend at the rodeo, or a sunset down a back road. Share your photo to show why life in rural Alberta is a choice worth celebrating. Enter and vote at whatsyourshare.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 3 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon, Canada pushed hard but was unable to get the tying goal. So they lose 2-1 to Switzerland. They finished second in their pool, and they will now move on. And most likely, it's not for sure yet, depends on the outcome, but most likely going to take on Korea. And that game's a quick turnaround. That's going to be on Sunday in Los Angeles. Right, Cons? It's in LA. Is that correct?
It is, yeah. SoFi Stadium, Los Angeles Stadium.
Los Angeles
Excuse me.
Stadium. Okay.
You know what's great?
Yeah.
I'm driving to BC. I can't watch it.
On Sunday.
Yeah. There might be a pit stop at a establishment on the way down for a couple hours, I think.
Yeah, why not? Right? Yeah. Just let Benny run around for a while.
He needs to, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to stretch his legs. No big deal there. It is the Gregor Show, is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at playalberta.ca. No one won Lotto Max last night. So it's up to 40 mil on Friday tonight. The gold ball jackpot, $18 million at Lotto, 649, the OG of lotteries. We get lots more Oiler talk. Still waiting, Cons. I haven't seen it. Maybe you have, but I haven't seen the return yet on that Alex Tuck trade to Washington, a sign and trade. Also, the Jack Jury trade. It's Jury and Chase Bradley and a third-round pick to Nashville for Fedor Svechkov and Zachary Leroux for the Colorado Avalanche. So, man, the trades just keep coming in here this week in the National Hockey League. If you're wondering, nothing to report yet on a Darnell Nurse deal. Nothing was close yesterday, my understanding, but hey, things can change quickly when it comes to trades, but kind of have to wait and see. I think the draft, and if you don't get what you want, or whether it's not the players themselves, but more in the trade department, then teams might look to other things. So we'll see where it goes. Now, coming up, well, it's actually ongoing right now, and but the main event. And for some of you and anybody who's a longtime listener of our show, for years, we actually used to have a tournament for charity that we did to raise money for MS. And the winner got themselves flight, accommodation, and their $10,000 entry paid in the World Series of Poker No Limit Hold'em main event. It's the biggest one. It's kind of the most prestigious poker tournament. You have thousands of people playing in it, and we have our guest in studio who's played it a few times and did pretty damn well, finishing 103rd, I think, both times. Quentin Siffeldine joins us, pro poker player. Also, of course, works at partners up at the Lowdown with Low Tide title sponsor down at Wolf GMC. Quentin, how you doing, man?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
We'll get you to pull your mic there a little closer to you. Perfect. There we go. Nice. So there's a lot of people that like to play poker for fun. Like, you get with your buddies, you play fun. Some people, take it more serious than others. Obviously for you, when, you said the first time you went down in 2011 was more like, this is just going to be a different tournament. So because there's lots of people, we've had texts the last few weeks. Every year we get some people, they follow it along. It's a pretty prestigious event. Obviously it's expensive to go in for 10G. So a lot of people are like, man, that's kind of like on my bucket list of poker. So what got you into it to ultimately lead you to go playing it multiple times?
So back in 11, we had a home event, a group of us, just a home game, like 10, 11 guys. We basically played every week for 40 weeks, and the winner got to go represent the crew.
Really?
So in 2011, just a bunch of home game guys. And
okay. So it was like a communal of you get points every week and where you finished?
Yeah. So if you finished top, I don't recall exactly how the point structure went, but the top three got some sort of variation of points. The top two split the cash, and then every week we put a piece of that money in for the buy-in.
I don't mind that.
Yeah. So it's a pretty good, it's fun, but once a week is a little too much. You got the guys at the house and you bust first, and it's like you're up waiting for them to finish. It's tough. But I actually won that one at my house, and I went down in 2011. It's just you're just not used to that kind of competition. It was a big deal. So I lasted literally 3 or 4 levels of day one. It was probably one of the worst showings that a rec player could have, but it didn't stop me. I loved the game so much that I just learned it and played back. I went back in 2014 and finished okay. 106, I believe. 103rd, 106.
And so, because there's like 8,000 players, right?
Yep.
If not.
Yep.
So when you're in there and you get down to the final 100, like, you've obviously grinded it out, but like, how much do you what's the mistake the average guy like myself makes when we play?
Well, I mean, it'd be hard to say like one mistake, but I mean, the pros and when I say pros, I would say guys even, have more skill than me and play more experience than me. But I would say the top end players they don't care what they have. They know what you have. They break down hands, and they would get into it in a bit. But I would say guys don't know when to bluff. Guys don't know when to commit their stack, how to protect their stack. It's fascinating. I mean, I love the game. When you asked me to talk cards for an afternoon, I thought, man, this is the best, right? Get to talk poker. So you would probably make many mistakes. And I'm just being honest compared to the guy that plays, all the tournaments in Edmonton, all the tournaments around town. So
when we look at the mistakes, so when you say the other person knows what you have, so is that like most of us get too excited? Oh, I got pocket jacks. I got pocket queens. I got pocket queen. Are they betting too heavy so it becomes obvious? How do you read someone's hand?
Well, so most players in a tournament of that magnitude know some unwritten rules of the game. So, for example, with your stack size betting, you open up the pot. You're not going to open up the pot without a certain range. So you have a certain range of hands. And as guys, as the hand, goes to the next guy and maybe he raises, well, his range, that guy's raising a certain range. So let's just say it comes back to me and I have pocket jacks, for example. And I have, 40, 50 big blinds, which means pretty good stack. If I just call there and play that guy, I have an idea of how that guy plays just on his betting patterns, how he's played in the past. Does he open and 3-bet, which means re-raise a lot. So it's not exactly what they have, but you just keep breaking down the range of what he has. So now the flop comes and then you say, okay, he's leading, he's putting out a bet. Now you're just basically saying, okay, would he put out a bet with that flop? And then you just say, okay, he probably would. If I raise here and he continues, then you kind of know, okay, his hands now can't be A, B, and C, but it could be D and F. And you just break it down. And guys are just solving this little puzzle.
Like I find that, knowing how to bluff without everybody at the table knowing you're bluffing is one of the best skills to have in poker. And, obviously body language, I think, is one thing for people. If you have somebody in there who's really paying attention to it. And that's probably maybe the mistake a lot of us make is we don't really pay attention to the other guys. Especially if it's just your buddies, you're having fun, you're talking about your kids or whatever, somebody's talking about the girl they're dating. So you're not really paying attention to, well, what did he do here? He put in half his pot. I don't even know what is. So that probably plays a little bit of a factor into it. But when you get into a tournament game and, you're reading, like knowing when to bluff, because you talked about that earlier. How do you learn? Like, do you read books on this? Like, if people want to get better, how do they get better at bluffing?
Well, I mean, there's many sites and many different coaching that you can get into. I mean, honestly, if you just went into Googled, poker coaching, you'd get like 10, 15 different guys that you can subscribe to it. I would say experience comes into play. You got to know, because the game changes, right? 6 months from now, the game is going to change a little bit. Some guys are going to be doing things they wouldn't have done 6 months ago, and you got to kind of be in the now. So, for example, I don't play as much as I used to.
Right.
I played a lot back 10 years ago, but I'm excited to play again this year.
Yeah.
So, you look at the game, you're away from it, and you're like, you know what? I didn't realize there's another element to it. So, when you bluff, it's just breaking down that hand, knowing that if he can't have a certain combination because he did certain betting patterns, you can get him off a hand. It's, you basically pick him off, right? And these guys can be picked off because they don't know. But if a guy wants to go down, and I mean, could he get lucky? Sure. But if you put 10 pros and 10 lucky guys and you see who's going to go farther, two of the rec players are going to go, they're going to make it maybe past day 2, day 3, day 4. Out of the 10 pros, maybe 8, 7, 6 of them are going to make it, right? So the pros have the edge, right?
So we have a few people texting already that are going down for the first time and asking, what advice would you give on how to get through the first few days? Is playing passive better just to kind of wait there?
Yeah.
What would you recommend as a guy who's played in that event multiple times?
Okay. So you have 2-hour levels. So it means you got 300 big blinds to start the tournament. You have lots of plays. So my advice would be just scope out the table, play, somewhat premium hands. You don't have to get out of line. Play in position. You don't want to play a hand that you're uncomfortable with against a pro out of position. You might get excited to see something and you might, a rookie might just say, oh my God, I got 3 10s. I got to go with it. And then tell a story to his buddies when he gets back home. Oh, I busted the tournament because I had this. Like, Yeah. So what I would say is just go there, enjoy it, because it's such a good time. I mean, that tournament there's nothing like it, honestly. I've done, I've played in a lot of tournaments, and that one's so much fun for even the best of the best. Guys have played $250,000 tournaments. They would say the main event, there's something about it, right? The energy.
It's like the Stanley Cup.
I would say, yeah, that would be, I mean, nowadays there are some cool, really good events that some other, WPT holds and there's these high rollers that guys would say they're just as prestige, but this is the one that would be really cool for any guy to go and say, hey, I won that tournament, or even I went deep in that tournament, because 8,000 players, you never plan on winning. You plan on just, okay, the goal number one is to cash. You want to make some.
And how many people cash out in one of those tournaments?
The WSOP, I think it's 15%. So the top 15% is the day that everybody gets a piece of the pie. So you buy in for 10K, and I believe it's $15,000 or $18,000 for the top 15%. So that's when the bubble busts, and that's a really cool part of the game too.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's people there's our strategy there. When you look around the table, do you play to get, as odd as it sounds, like when you're at a table and you see one because an elimination like this, the more people that get eliminated, it's better. So when let's say Quentin's playing head to head with Declan, and I'm like, well, I got a decent hand. Do I just bow out because I'm like, we want to get rid of him, or do I stay in so we have a 2-on-1 chance to eliminate him?
Yeah, I mean, if you're right down to I'll answer that like this. If we're right down to the last, we're on the bubble, and me and you are in the hand, and we can knock that guy out and it doesn't hurt us, we'll probably take a shot. But if we can get crippled, some guys will fold aces on the bubble. They won't even play their aces because they don't want to get knocked out of the tournament. That's how safe they play.
What?
Yeah, I mean, right at the bubble, because they know it.
That's probably why I suck at poker. There's no chance I'd be doing that.
now let me say something. Not everybody's. I would never fold aces.
Okay,
but there are some players that are there. They've went so far. They got a little bit of chips left. They look at their hand and
what are they
like,
waiting for? Like,
yeah, but they're like, you know what? One more person gets busts out, I make the money, and I tell a story.
Oh, okay.
But you're not supposed to fold aces ever. So,
yeah,
even if it's worth like $100,000. I mean, a poker player shouldn't fold pocket aces.
I would hope not. That would.
However, if you're playing a satellite, you buy $1,000 satellite to get into the game, and there's, let's just say, 30 players left, and 30 players left, and 25 of them are going to get in, and you have all the chips. You don't have to play a hand, because 5 more that bust, you're in the tournament.
Right.
Doesn't do you any good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Quentin simply. Well, they're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back because we got a few questions coming in on the text line. Then we'll get to those and more here. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This deal's only good till 6 o'clock tonight. We need your credit card to hold the color. Hold the color. Summer package. Winter package. And the ever-famous re-PDI fee. I got to pay to rebuild the car? Does this sound familiar? At Northgate, we do things differently. We offer 0% financing, a great selection of new, pre-owned vehicles. So if you'd like to do business a different way, stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Did you know there are actually 3 seasons we experience in June? Spring, summer, and construction season. And while roads may be narrowed and detours are everywhere, GS construction crews are on site every day doing the work because the city doesn't stop, and neither do we. As we build and upgrade infrastructure, life continues around us. That's why we never lose sight of what matters most, making sure everyone, including our team, returns home safely at the end of the day. For more on what we do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
If you've got a smart speaker, get it to play Sports 1440.
And it doesn't matter when you listen as we roll out the Sports Talk
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Edmonton's home for sports radio is Sports 1440.
Good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. MortgagesToGo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, I'm good to go.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Get the Puck Drop Special at Papa John's. A large 2-topping pizza and 8-piece wings for only $28.99 with promo code PuckDrop at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
3:25, we continue on. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. I hope you're having an awesome day. We'll catch up with all the trades. Alex Tuck, of course, is now a member of the Washington Capitals. A small trade, Drury going to Nashville, LaRue. Those are kind of the 2 main pieces. He's going to Colorado. So the McFarland likes dealing with his old team, and that's normal. Him and Joe Sakic obviously have each other on speed dial, clearly, as that's 2 trades that they've made since he became the GM of the Nashville Predators. We continue on, of course. The World Series of Poker is on right now, in fact, and because it runs for like 6 weeks, from like May 26th through until July 15th. But one of the kind of the most prestigious event is the $10,000 World Series of Poker No Limit Hold'em. For years, we actually did a charity tournament, and we teamed up to whoever won it. They get their flights, hotels, and the $10,000 entry fee paid as part of it. So we had a lot of fun at that. And we, I've had people every year always, hey, you guys going to do that again? Because I think for a lot of people, I think our entry fee, if I'm not mistaken, was like $250 for a chance to win. So we had a lot of people. Like, it sold out pretty fast. As Quentin Sefaldine joined us, a pro poker player who's actually heading down for the main event, going back in it for another time. How different of a player are you now than last time you played?
Not as good. Not as good. I mean, I don't play as much as I used to, but anytime I get in there, I try to get dialed in. The main event, it's a good tournament. The last time I played was in 2019, so it's been a while for me, but I'm excited, and I feel like I try to run deep and see what we can do.
So I want to go through, because we had a lot of people texting in, kind of walk us through. So there's day 1A on Thursday, B on Friday, C on Saturday, D on Sunday. So depending on your schedule, you can pick a day one on which one to start. And if you make it through, then you don't play until the Monday. Some people I'll just come in Sunday. I don't want to wait around for 3 days. Other guys no, I want to play on Thursday. If I make it through, I got a few days off to relax. How long is day one usually?
If I remember correctly, it starts at 11 and it'll end around 11:30 at night.
So 12 hours. And so you play for 2 hours and get a 15-minute break, or how does it work?
Yeah. So you play so there's 5 levels. It'd be 2 hours of play, 20-minute break, 2 hours of play, 20-minute break, one more time, and then there's a dinner break for 90 minutes.
So what do you do in the break?
Use the washroom.
Yeah.
Go outside. Guys are vaping, smoking, making a call back home if they have to, just running around. I mean, it's a gong show. Like everyone's running all over the place. It's not,
It's not relaxing.
No, guys are all over the map.
So let's say you're playing and all of a sudden you're like, man, I didn't time this very well. I've been drinking too much water. Do you just get up and go and then you'll just miss a few hands, right?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
all that would happen.
Yeah, if you have to go to the washroom,
okay.
if you have to get off you can, but you don't typically.
You don't
really want to miss any hands.
Yeah, because you miss strategy and lots of different things, right?
Yeah,
you might miss 2 great cards.
But some guys don't mind missing. I mean, for me, I don't want to miss any hands. But I mean, if you just win a big stack and you don't want to be, I mean, you go through a lot of tilt, good and bad. So when you lose a hand, you're just
It's a good word, tilt.
Yeah,
I think a lot of us relate to that.
Yeah, you get off your game a little bit when you take a bad beat or if you got sucked out on, and then all of a sudden you're like, some guys just need a break, get up, take a walk, or and then if you win a big pot, sometimes guys do that and they say, hey, you know what, I got a lot of chips. But for me, I just play until the break and then
everybody has certain hand like that they just feel better with. Like obviously everybody, pocket kings, like no brainer, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Are there kind of like average hands that you like and you usually will play?
Definitely depending on the position, my stack, and where we are in the tournament. So, I mean, day one, I see a 9-10 suited. I'm in position. I got 200 big blinds. It's opened once. Yeah, I'll probably play that hand against the guy. But maybe I won't. Maybe if he's a pro and he's really good and I know that, I have no business getting an ego match with him, right? I'll just drop it. It's player dependent, who you're playing and the time of the tournament. So,
is the biggest challenge internally at times to find as a poker player? Like you mentioned, ego is one, getting on tilt is another one. And, we had Andrew wondering at this event, like, are there a lot of chirpy guys? Like, do you see people that just try to nudge somebody, just little comments to try to get them off their game? Does that happen fairly normally?
Yeah, I mean, it can for sure. I mean, there's some losers on the table all the time, right? They're just like not good guys, but there's a lot of classy guys that won't do that. They'll just play the game. They'll have some good etiquette. Yeah, I would say that the mental game is huge. I was talking to a buddy who's down there. Shout out to Chris Hack. He's just won a satellite to the 10K win tournament. So good luck to him out there. He told me, he goes, it's just the mental game he's got to work on a little bit, for him. And for me, I've been there. You just get into you get a little discouraged when you're losing your hand. You're almost thinking like, how everything I do, I can't do anything right is what you feel like. But then you get a few chips and all of a sudden you think you're a hero. So I say, don't let the highs get too high, the lows get too low. You got a certain stack. You got to play each street on each hand, one hand at a time, one street at a time.
Are you a believer? Do you feel there's momentum?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Like you can, I'm on a little bit of a run. I've hit a few cards now, the flop. Like, do you play it sometimes just based on, for whatever reason, I'm on a little bit of a lucky streak? Does that work? Is that a strategy or is that a loser strategy?
No, not at all. They call that the rush. I'm playing my rush
in
poker. So this, you're hot. You can't miss. You're hitting flops. I mean, now's your time to build the stack. You see 6-3 of diamonds. You gotta, you're running the table. Yeah, you're gonna open that hand or maybe 3-bet that hand because you're feeling it. But again, you could lose a lot of chips on those hands too, right? You flop a flush, another guy flops a flush or whatever.
Yeah, you got a low.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say if you can get away from a hand, you should be able to play any hand. If you can fold pocket aces when it's on the flop when it doesn't make sense, you should play any hand. But if you can't fold really good hands in this game, you're gonna end up losing your chips or busting. Yeah, you got to be willing to, and you got to call sometimes with very little, right? You got to call sometimes with, bottom pair or ace high or king high because it just makes sense, right?
Give me a little bit of strategy into I know the importance of positioning, but I don't know it well enough to understand it, right? So let's just say we got 7 people at a table.
Yep.
Right? 7 or 8 people. And is it automatically first better? Who's after big blind? That's the position that you have to bet. That's the most advantage.
Yeah. So that'd be the least advantage. So he'd be called under the gun.
Yeah.
So he has to act first.
Yeah.
And
It's the guy at the end.
The guy at the end. So the guy, we call that guy the button. But let's just say the button was out and the flop. There's 5 players left or 7, like you said. the last guy to act has the best position. When we talk position, I think people don't, sometimes they say, well, I have to be the last act. No, it just means that if a guy's betting in front of you and you have a hand that you want to play, you have position on that guy. You don't have position on the other 3 or 4 guys behind you. But if you put in a raise, the only way they're going to come in is if maybe they have something good or they feel like, you're just playing around against the guy that's maybe weaker or something. So it's a lot of meta game to it, but yeah, I mean, position's huge.
So when you go as deep as you went, 103rd, 106 in multiple years, it starts with 8,000 people. Like, how many days is that you're like, are you on day 5 at that point?
Yeah. So it's funny. I busted day 5, I think almost to the same hour on both tournaments. It was really weird. Like 2014, I remember busting at like maybe 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night, day 5. And, 1 or 2 hands away from having a massive, massive stack going into day 6, looking really good. And the same thing for 2019, probably 10 o'clock, 10:30. I think I finished 130th. It was a little less players or more players, but the structure was a little bit different. And I remember busting, and the payout was very similar too.
So when you busted out, like, do you go back and analyze it? Oh, I made a mistake. Or is it sometimes it's a bad beat? Like, how'd you go out?
Well, the hand, okay, so I can't tell you exact hand. Actually, I can tell you the hand that I busted. 2014, I was in a hand. There was, I had about 2 million in chips. I had a lot of chips, and that was probably one of the chip leaders at the table. And there was 106 guys left, I think, 106, 110 guys. And I had pocket queens, and I overplayed them. And I knew that I just had so much chips that I thought, well, if I win this hand, I'm going to have all the chips. Again, a little bit of rookie mistake, to be honest with you. Day 5, mistakes still happen, right? Just because you're playing good. Sometimes the more chips you have, you can make some mistakes. When you have less chips, there's less decisions to make. When you have more chips, you have to be a little bit more, okay, what do I do in this position against that guy? And, you got to lay down hands they normally wouldn't lay down. So pocket queens, if you only have 20 big blinds, you're going to go with it.
Funny you say that, because I think a lot of us would think, oh, I got more chips, I should be more aggressive.
Not always, no.
Yeah.
You should be more aggressive at times when you have a stack that's, call it 20 big blinds. You have pocket queens. You don't care. You go in with it. If a guy has aces or ace king and he hits it, you lost a race. For me, I remember that. I had some friends at the table watching me. It was a big moment. I have queens. I 3-bet a guy, and then the button guy, he went all in. He was from the UK, I remember. And he had ace king. And I remember this hand because the only way he could win on the river is if he hit a non-diamond ace or king. So he only had 4 cards to hit. And he hit the ace. I remember smoking the table. I was really, so
you're
stuck,
annoyed,
right?
I get it.
Totally annoyed. But that pot was like a $3.54 million pot as opposed to my $700K that I had left. And then I just tilted it off, and I couldn't get the mental, a golfer making a bad shot, and he's just all choked and he doesn't get it back to. So I just remember going in with king, queen, and guy had kings, and I'm out.
Yeah.
And, I come home and I'm like,
So you went on tilt after the
oh yeah. I went on tilt for sure.
And that has to be, you were talking about your friend telling you down there that the mental part of the game, I as much, and there's a little bit of luck involved too. Like usually you got to hit a few rivers, to win at some point. Right now, there's educated luck, and then there's sometimes just blind luck, and we can probably debate which one's more important at different times. But because there's and it's a hard tournament to win, right? Like, and it's even a hard tournament, I would think, to win, obviously, because you do need a lot of luck. Just like I look at the Stanley Cup final every year. There's good teams, and when you get to it's good, but one team all of a sudden has a bad injury, or one guy takes a puck that goes from the corner off his stick and in the back of the net. And you're like, damn, now we just lost in that. And this guy had 1 out or 2 outs to me, and he beat me, right? Like, there's nothing you did wrong on the hand.
No.
He just kind of got lucky.
Yeah, a lot of poker's like that, though. I mean, you got to play a lot of volume for it to be a profession, because that happens all the time. You cannot sit there and say, oh, poor me, I got unlucky, because even the guys that win it got unlucky in that tournament many times.
Yeah.
No one wins a tournament where they just, it's rare that you run pure and you run good the whole tournament, but guys are ups and downs, and you can't use that as an excuse, because everybody has the same. I mean, mathematically, everybody has the same chance. You know, the a 2-outer or 3-outer. Yeah, it happened to you, but I can promise you, it happened to the guy across from you at some point in his career too.
Right.
Maybe in that tournament.
Right.
So, yeah, there's luck, but you know, I mean, you can't rely on it. You can't let the deck hit you in the face.
Yeah. Quentin Siffeldine joins us. We're talking, of course, World Series of Poker. The $10,000 main event is coming up. It's going back in. We love it after a few years away from it. But Am wants to know who's the the best player that you've ever played with at a table, and did you notice it right away that they were good, and did it impact you at all?
I mean, I played against some really, really high-end great players. There's so many. I wouldn't say there's just one of them. There's a Canadian guy, Mike Leah from Toronto. I know I played against him. He doesn't know who I am, but I know who he was. On the same table, there was Jonathan Little. There was Emma. I don't know her last name. There was like 4 or 5 or 6 WPT champions. There's 24 left. I'm at this table. And honestly, for me at that point, I was like, you know, the success to me was just, you're there, you're playing against them. You got to now play your best as you can, because, you know, these opportunities don't happen a lot, right? But there's so many good players nowadays, and the edges, they have, you know, a little bit of an edge compared to the rec players for sure.
Do you a lot of people know Phil Ivey, you know, Phil Hellmuth, and, you know, he likes to kind of get in people's faces at different times for sure. Have you ever watched, do you study how other people play? Do you try to take things from them?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I watch, how I study for me is just my wife always asks me, did you study today? Like when I play in a tournament, maybe a couple days before, I'll just watch YouTube, WSOP, WPT, like maybe the 250K buy-ins.
Okay.
Because it's very high level, a lot of meta game. It's not just let the deck hit you in the face and win. So you try to take a little bit from everybody. But another thing I would tell, you know, guy going down there is you got to play what's comfortable to you. Some guys have 3 gears, 4 gears. And I would say stay in your lane. Some guys have 6, 7, 8 gears that they can get, and they can shift, and they can play different styles. You know, the more chips they have, the more weapons they have, they're dangerous players. But there are some players that doesn't matter how much chips they have, they're not that dangerous. And doesn't matter how many little chips some really good players have, they're still really dangerous.
Okay.
So you just got to know who you're playing against. But I definitely take from those guys. Yeah.
What have you, when you got into it and then you started to improve, is it just like, you know, a lot of time, hey, you need more reps. You got to play. So that's definitely one aspect of it. But how much of it is between playing and then practicing, like studying of it? Like we look at athletics, and you know what, kids get bored with doing edge work, but you got to have good edge work. So what about the practice time for a pro poker player, and how do you do it?
Yeah. So for practice, I mean, you can play online, less stakes, of course. You can play $100 tournaments, $200 tournaments, $50 tournaments. You're going to get practice. You're going to get reps. You're going to see lots of hands, because there's still some really good players at that level too. You know, watching content and listening to podcasts and watching game theory is a part of it. It's never been a big thing for me. I watch this for more entertainment. I like it. I try to remember. I think, you know, the more you play, the more reps you see, the more hands you see, you're in a better spot. But that's not, you know, if you ask somebody else, they might give you a different answer. But that, for me, I would say, you know, you need to definitely play a little. Like I'll go in rusty. I already know I'm going to go in rusty to the 2026 World Series of Poker tournament. But it might only take me a day or two to shake off the rust. So if I can, grind it out, maybe, you know, just kind of see how the game is going. But definitely the guys that have been playing all summer are going to have an edge, if everything being equal.
Okay. Joins us. A few more quick ones. I really appreciate your time with us here today. What other games do you like, and why?
Oh, other card games?
Yeah.
Omaha is really fun. House game Omaha would be probably one of my favorites, just because it's a lot of gamble to it, and it's, you know, you can just keep reloading your money you guys are playing. I don't play as much as some of my buddies do. That's a good game. I actually like Hold'em cash game too. Just like a 2-card cash game. It's not a tournament style. that's good. But again, I don't play a lot of mixed games. I'd be more of a hold'em player. I just don't have the time to play as much cards as some of these guys. I mean, it's their career. It's what they do.
Yeah.
And for me, as you know, like I'm busy with the store and busy with family life, but I mean, I love all the poker games. I just can't play. I just can't play them.
Now, is Wolf GMC ever hosting any fun poker events? What's happening?
No, you know what? We got to do something though. The guys keep asking me. We got to set up a game, but we'll have to.
You got the big showroom there. You know, you could.
I know we got to do
fun. You could have a little, have a little lesson area with the fellas.
Yeah, we could do something like that for sure.
Yeah, no, that's good. And quickly, how things going at Wolf?
Really good. Yeah, it's
for anybody who doesn't know, Quentin took over. Doug being there for a long, long time, and there'd kind of be the succession.
Yep.
For a year, and then you officially took over in April or March.
You know, this has kind of been working side by side with him for the last 4 or 5 years. But his last day was April 1st.
April 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
now
I couldn't delegate up anymore. So now it's all on me.
So now it's all. But does that mean do you get the new head hop? Because I'll say this, Doug had a pretty good office.
Yeah, I'll make you laugh. So Doug went away for a few weeks, but didn't really actually leave yet. So I changed the whole office when he was gone, and he came back and he's like, "What the heck is this? This is not my office." It was awesome to see his face.
Oh, so you changed it before for his last
for his last few days.
That's
he came
good.
in.
Well, that's when you know you get along with each other. That's outstanding. Because
Totally.
I remember the first time when I was like, geez, man, this is like a big boardroom for an office up here.
It's a pretty good.
nice.
It's a pretty good office.
It's pretty good up there.
Yeah.
Now he had a lot of train sets. You don't have train sets up there, do you?
No, we gave those to him. Yeah, no, he got to keep those.
Awesome. Well, Quentin, hey, people are looking for a good deal coming to Wolf, and maybe give them a few little poker insight tips as well. And we'll have to have you back on after to see how the 2026 event goes on. I know we can watch it online. I always like because there's always a few people from Edmonton every year, right? And area. So I always like. Watch. I got a few buddies that are really into it, and they watch it all the time, and they're kind of every year they hum and haw about, geez, maybe I should go. And I'm like, why don't you just go? So, when we hosted the tournament, I became a big fan of it. Not necessarily for me, but I quite enjoyed watching it and seeing the strategy of it a little bit. I love cards.
Yeah, I'm
just not as you said. Like you got to play. It's like golf. If you don't play golf, you don't get better.
Exactly.
Right. It's just that simple.
Just talking to you though when we went for lunch that one day, and we just dialogued on it and the passion of back and forth. It was like, it's just fun talking about it and watching it. And I could tell you have that in you. So that was kind of cool.
No, it's good, man. Well, I appreciate it. We'll be watching, and good luck down in Vegas.
Thanks so much, man.
All right. There you go.
Easy.
That's Quentin Siffeldine, of course, pro poker player. Also GM runs Wolf GMC Buick here in Edmonton. Of course, they are the title sponsor on the Lowdown with Low Tide. We'll take a quick break. It's a Gregor show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Mr. Rooter buries evidence in the desert.
I didn't mean to do it. I was forced into it. Yeah, forced. But now, no one will ever know. You've done well, Mr. Rooter. You did something awful, but you covered your tracks. It's done. The last transcript that shows I did a semester of electrician school.
Uncover evidence of the proudest plumber, Mr. Rooter.
Sleep is for the off-season. What off-season? Sports 1440 is live, loud, and locked 24/7. Oilers, Elks, Riverhawks, Stingers, Oil Kings. We've got your picks. Edmonton's home for sports is Sports 1440.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with track hoe or backhoe experience, All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with track hoe or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
Day or night, tasting just the right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque. Made in Canada, made for Canada. Workstream isn't theoretical. Find your solution at CanTorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.350. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. I always like having some different interviews. We've talked a lot of hockey and, of course, basketball with the draft, and we'll talk lots more hockey. It's always nice to switch it up a little bit. We had lots of texts coming in from people that are interested. Hey, guys, that was a great interview. I really enjoyed learning a little bit more about poker. Very informative. Mike from Argyle and Steve and Sarah. Many others. Going to get my boyfriend. He's big into poker. He'll have to listen to that later. Thanks for that. Awesome, Sarah. We appreciate it. So it is good and it's fun. And we wish Quentin will be following along. I know Deck. I didn't know that Deck's a little bit of a card player. Seven. Get your mic on over there. You play. I've never played 7-card stud. I don't even know how to play it.
Yeah, really fun variation, a lot different. So basically, you're dealt 3 cards, 2 of them face down, one face up. The lowest card on the table, they're the buy-in. If they don't buy in, it goes to the highest card. They lead the betting. Then you get 3 more cards face up, 1 final card face down, and it's the best 5-card hand you can make.
So there's obviously some luck because you have no idea what's the 3 cards that are down.
No, so you see them. Those what you see all 7 of your cards.
Okay.
Yeah,
You see them, but your opposition doesn't.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
That
So
makes way
4
more
of the cards are hidden to the rest of the table. 3 are open to the table.
Okay. And why do you like that better than Hold'em?
It's just a little bit more skill based, I find. Like, I think when you're playing Hold'em, obviously you have your two hole cards and the 5 community cards. But with 7 cards stud, I just think there's so much more betting involved and there's so much more understanding of mathematics and percentages. Like, because for example, if you're playing with 8 players, 32 cards are up, right? That's 32 out of a possible 52 in the deck. You can start calculating the percentages and the odds of what each player is going to have in their hands, and you can make better decisions based on that, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cons, have we seen the return yet on the Alex Tuck trade?
Yeah, 3rd round pick.
That's it.
That's it.
You know what? That's kind of par for the course. So I'm intrigued by that deal. Obviously, the Capitals feel that they want to get back in, right? You got a young coach in Carberry that you're pretty high on. They've got a roster, so they just added Kyrou and Tuck, two legit top 6 forwards. Some would argue, first line player in the case of Tuck, right? When you look at 30, hey, you're a 30 goal scorer 3 out of 4 years. That's pretty much top line guy, right? Because there's not many guys who do that. So you got Kyrou, and you got Tom Wilson and Dylan Strome and Pierre-Luc Dubois and Protas, and now Tuck. That's probably your top 6. And I shouldn't even say that. You got Ryan Leonard, right? They got a lot of guys, right? What about Ovi? Like, do you think they know Ovi's not coming back? Is that what you make of these two moves?
I mean, my first thought was maybe this was kind of a way to entice him to come back. Like, hey, Ovi, we're a year away from being a top team in the division, right? Like, we still have capabilities. We've got a goalie. Heck, maybe Carlson returns after the time in Anaheim. Like, I kind of thought maybe this is a way to say, let's go all in. And Ovi's made over $170 million in his career. I don't know if it's the money that inspires him. Maybe he would take a team-friendly deal. But after this contract, just trying to $23 million in cap space prior to this deal. So they'll be down to 13.
Mm-hmm.
Could you throw him $5 million, get him back for another year? I kind of think, like, my first thought is that it's a way to try to get him to come back for another year and try to chip in another 20, 25 goals.
Yeah, possibly.
If not, you have a pretty good core of the team now to build around for the next 5 years.
Yeah, like it would definitely be, Ovi's back. Obviously, his minutes will be down from what it's been, but the guy's still, like, it's hard to just say, well, Alex Ovechkin shouldn't come back, because there's not many guys who score 30 goals in the National Hockey. He had a 32-goal season last year. The Oilers had 2 players score 32 goals last year, right? That's it. So, that's it. McDavid had 48, and Draisaitl had 35. Hammond was close. He had 31 in 58 games. But they only had 2 guys with 32. So Ovi can still do it. He's not as fast. He's not as physical. But he can still put the puck in the back of the net. And I got to think that, Ovi's coming back. I don't think he needs a big ticket. Right? If he wants, he's already won once. You look at Letang's money, you look at Malkin's money, like, Ovi's not getting $9 million. I would think he doesn't need it. I would hope not. Right? And he would look to say, hey, let's be competitive and see where it goes from here. So I like it. Hey, Greg, did you happen to read Speck's article and the thoughts from McDavid? Do you honestly think this is going to work or not? Well, it was, and those who didn't, we'll have Speck coming up in the 5:00 hour. He had the first real interview with Connor McDavid post Mike Babcock hiring, and this is what McDavid had to say in regards to Mike Babcock. And Babcock was the one who said, "Hey, yeah, the guys are on board in June, but that's different in October when I'm going to have to do what they want." And here was McDavid's response to that. I know Babcock alluded to the fact that it's easy to say in June. And it is easy to say in June. It might be a little different when it's November. But we've all agreed that that is what we want. That is what we're looking for. I don't plan on having that happen to me very much. But when it does, it'll be deserved and we'll move forward and we'll learn from it. It's time to have that happen in Edmonton. It's time. I'm excited about that challenge to be pushed by a coach because it's been a really long time in Edmonton. So then he added the definition of insanity is trying to do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Babs is different. He gives us a different personality, a different approach to our group, and an approach that we probably have never had. We've tried it the same way for a really long time. Let's try different. So now, I'd be interested, to think like, Todd McClellan, like they had Ken Hitchcock, albeit for a very short period of time. So that means maybe a hard one to look at. I know the players didn't love Hitch's approach, but they were also young in their career. So at that point, they're probably like, I'm going to win. It's only year 2 of my career, but I don't need it. So maybe, but I do when I hear that, maybe he feels like I've got more to give and he needs someone to help me give it. Fair, because, and I don't think anyone can say McDavid isn't a self-motivator. You don't become the best player in the world without being highly motivated. and working hard, putting in a ton of work away from the cameras when no one's watching, that's usually where the best players excel and get better at their game. No one questions that McDavid, his teammates rave about his cardio. Every time he comes into camp, he's in great shape. So it's not a lack of work ethic. Maybe it's a lack of having someone when you're cheating a corner, when you're turning the puck over repeatedly. So it'd be interesting because it's twofold here. You could be careful what you wish for, or maybe it's the best thing you'll have. That, like, you'll have a hard coach on you. I remember talking to Leon Draisaitl about it once, and he kind of chuckled. He's like, dude, I've had a hard coach. My dad was pretty hard on me, as a young kid. Now, not in a negative way. Him and his father, Peter, have a fantastic relationship. I talked to Peter when I wrote that long article about Draisaitl as 1,000 point, and there's a healthy respect and lots of pride from his dad talking about his young son and what he's become, right? But he also, he only coached him a very brief time. Because as Peter said, he goes, Leon didn't really want me to coach him. And that's okay. And luckily his dad, he understood it. But he's had other tough coaches. We'll see. There are times when the Oilers have turnovers. Now, we're going to get to our stats of the day because yesterday, one of the topics that keeps coming up is in regards to the Oilers and, you got to lower their power play time. And I strongly disagree with it. So I went through the process because I'm a big believer. Let's back it up with the actual numbers. Because everyone's like, oh, you know what? What's the point of having them on past a minute 20? Well, we'll look at it. Coming up next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. We also got Jason Strudwick and more. Let's get to the Con Man Sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good for professional property services that you can feel good about. Get Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. Stable jobs create stable lives. HireGood.ca.
The Sports 1440 update.
Earlier today at the World Cup, Canada fell to Switzerland at 2-1. With that, Canada will now play the second-place team from Group A on Sunday, 1 o'clock from Los Angeles. Could be South Korea, Czechia, or South Africa. The other game had Bosnia-Herzegovina over Qatar 3-1. A couple games just about to get going. Morocco, Haiti, as well as Brazil and Scotland. Then at 7 o'clock tonight, Mexico taking on Czechia, while South Africa meet South Korea from Guadalupe, Mexico. Major League Baseball today, the Jays in action. They'll host the Astros just after 5 o'clock. We'll join that game in progress here on Sports 1440 following the Gregor Show AM feed only. From the NHL, Alex Tuch is heading to the Washington Capitals in a sign-in trade with a third-round pick going back to Buffalo. The Caps and Tuch then reaching a contract extension, 8 years, $84 million, while the Predators trading Fedor Sechkov and Zachary Leroux to the Avs for Jack Doherty, Chase Bradley, and a 2029 third-round pick. And round 2 of the NBA draft goes tonight at 6 o'clock. The Knicks on the clock. Raptors will be making the 50th overall selection. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by former NHLer Jason Strudwick. We'll talk some NHL draft with Sam Cosentino of Sportsnet and ask 5 questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. The Gene Simmons Band, performing your favorite classic hits. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Tickets on sale now at silenticecenter.com. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
They are late, tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodle-noodle.ca. Delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle-noodle at oodle-noodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodle-noodle.ca. Oodle-noodle.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place in Ice District.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit JapaEquipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Tired of the rough ride? Alberta used to be a leader in highway planning and construction, but years of neglect and cuts to maintenance are showing. You can see it, and your vehicle is feeling it. Infrastructure can last for years with a little TLC, but when repairs are deferred, minor issues become major reconstruction. We need action and a reliable capital plan. Contact your MLA and demand stable infrastructure funding. Find out how at fixourroads.com.
A message from the Alberta Road Builders and Heavy Construction Association.
Who, when, where? How much did they get? And who isn't going anywhere? Get every up to the second update on free Agent Day coverage with Low Tide. July 1st from 10 till 1 here on Sports 1440, powered by Booster Juice, because we're gonna need it.
What a performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think, "Wow, great hair transplant." I want them to think,
"Wow, great hair."
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
It's like a locker room, minus the smell.
Ew.
Kevin Carius brings the banter, the buzz, and the bold sports talk. Weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Sports 1440, Edmonton's home for sports.
If you change your mind,
Take a chance.
on the question.
Take a chance.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. From weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips, we fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
It's after 4 o'clock. Welcome back. If you missed it, Canada losing 2-1 today. So they will now move on to the elimination round. They're going to play Sunday. Still not 100% confirmed, but it's unless there's an upset today, they're most likely going to take on Korea in a single elimination game. I said it before the start of this room. I didn't think Alphonso Davies would play in any of the group stage, and he didn't. Does that mean he plays on Sunday? I'm still not sold, man. Bayern Munich's having a big say in this, wanting to protect their asset. So there you go. And pretty big trade in the NHL today is Alex Tuch is now a member of the Washington Capitals. A third-round pick going to Buffalo as they traded his rights. He signs an 8-year deal, $10.5 million. He might be, well, no, maybe Connor Bedard, a few other young guys, but they're going to be the last of the 8-year deals in the NHL. You have until September 15th, and then no one can get an 8-year deal anymore. Then it drops down to 7 years for your team and 6 years as a free agent. It is the Gregor Show, as always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca and the OG. Tonight, Lotto 649, Gold Ball Jackpot, $18 million. Classic Jackpot, $5 million. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. As it's time now, we're going to get to the oil report brought to you by Go Auto. Looking for car, truck, van, SUV. They got it. Over 15,000 vehicles for you to pick from at GoAuto.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show presents Struds On.
I don't believe in tea bags. I use loose leaf tea. It is so much better than the tea bags. I'll eat tea bags. I'll
Struds On.
I'm not a huge DJ guy. I mean, I guess if you had me a couple glow sticks and a tight white t-shirt that I can get wet, maybe I'd be into it.
Struds On.
There's a lone steakhouse I used to go to down in Kentucky, and they had bowls of peanuts. I wasn't sucking on those ones. You need to have clean nut. I'm talking about the kind you get in a bag at an Elks game. You know what I mean?
It's time for Struds On.
Struddy, good afternoon. How you doing?
Good. Just waiting for trades to drop in the NHL. Been pretty exciting.
Yeah, well, it's been good. Well, the thing I thought you'd be more excited about, Struddy, and I know you'll be on with Carius tomorrow, but he announced his retirement earlier today, and Brandon had a Struds-like clip of Carius with many quotes from him that I think you would appreciate. Be like, wow, I can't believe someone would say something like that. Wait till you hear it tomorrow, buddy. They'll play it for you. Wait till you hear it.
Yeah, I've actually challenged Carius a few times when he kind of throws some words in the wrong order. I'll throw him a text, and he's like, "Come on, get off my ass." But when he's talking enough, eventually he'll throw a couple of bad ones out.
Oh, definitely, it's going to happen for sure. So yeah, there are lots of trades going out. What do you make of the Tuch trade and signed by Washington?
Yeah, I thought after Bowen Byron moved out, maybe they'd find a way to get that gap. And I mean, it didn't sound like it was huge, but it was big enough, obviously, maybe in term or dollars that they weren't able to get it done. I guess they get the third rounder, so that it's not, it's nothing. It's not massive, but it's not a major thing. But for Washington now, they've added Kyrou and Tuch. It feels like they're like, hey, we're going to keep moving forward and can I keep this thing going? We still don't know what Ovi's doing. Maybe you've heard of something one way or another, but with or without him, it feels like they're continuing to build this team.
Yeah, they are. And well, hey, they get Kyrou yesterday. Now they get Tuch. I still got to think Ovi's coming back for one more run. Maybe he's going to go out on a 32-goal season, which there's nothing wrong with that at all. If that's what he decides to do, he reached the 1,000-goal plateau, which is pretty impressive as well. But like they're loading back up, and honestly, after Carolina, Struddy, that division's wide open. It's not like the Flyers and the Penguins are so good that the Capitals couldn't come storming back through and make the playoffs next year.
Well, you and I had a conversation beginning of last year, and you said, I forget how many, but I thought you said the year before there'd been 6 teams or 7 teams that didn't make the playoffs that had made them before. So I've been looking through the playoffs the standings from this year, trying to think in my mind which teams could take a step back. I think that Pittsburgh, again, unfortunately, I'll do it again. Who knows with Ottawa, right? Who knows what's going to happen there? Philly, they're another team. But I mean, Carolina, I don't see them taking a step back. I think Florida takes a step back into the playoffs. Are the Rangers a team that get back in there? I'm not sure about that. Toronto, I'm not sure. Let's see what happens over the next couple of weeks. So there are going to be some changes for sure. And if someone's going in, someone has to come out.
Yeah, I look at like the Boston Bruins. I'll be like, I didn't expect them to do what they did last year. That was very impressive to me. I wonder. We've kind of been waiting for the shoe to drop. Maybe it won't drop. We'll see. There's lots of younger guys traded. Struddy. Eklund goes from San Jose for the 9th. I still don't really understand that one. I do understand the Chicago trade. A lot of people think it's a terrible trade. Now, Louis Crevier, I think, is underrated, and he's going to help out in Buffalo. But you got Connor Bedard, and you've got all these good young offensive forwards. You needed in today's NHL, you needed a top pair puck-moving defender, someone who can run the power play. And Bowen Byron can do that. Like at Chicago, you can't just keep getting young guys over and over. At some point, you need to have, like a proven 25-year-old player right in that kind of mid-range age to come in and help your team. And I actually quite like that deal for Chicago.
You know what? But I actually like it for both teams. So let's start with Buffalo. They get a pick. Now, I don't know if they keep that pick. Do they flip it and try to get something else? But Louis Crevier is a player I really like. He's 6'8", and he'll know what his role is on the Buffalo Sabres. Look around you. Owen Power, Darlene, Samuelson, like your job is to be defensive and to be hard. I think he's going to fit in there really well and maybe be like Kessling as far as offering the size. I don't think he has the same offensive package, but they don't need that. They need a big guy that's going to take up space and shut down. I really like that move. On the other side, just ask the Toronto Maple Leaf forwards how they would feel if they had another puck-moving defenseman. Toronto's trying to get that. Getting a guy that, your point is really well made about making the power play better, but even just getting the puck out of your zone, transitioning that puck up to your talented forwards. They have some good forwards coming, right? That are there, like, Frondell, obviously Bedard, some other guys are there that are either there and or coming. They've got some good shutdown D. They need someone that can move that puck, and this guy can move the puck in transition. They're not a finished product, but Connor Bedard woke up the biggest smile on his face knowing power play, but also 5-on-5, that puck's going to get up to him a lot quicker.
Yeah, and that's going to be a key because he had a great year until he got injured, right? He was 4th in scoring, right behind. He was ahead of Kucherov. Yeah. He was actually ahead of Draisaitl by 1 point, but still, he was ahead of him. And then there were Celebrini and McDavid and McKinnon. Unfortunately, then Bedard got hurt, and when he came back from the injury, I just don't think he was the same player. So I don't mind that trade at all for Scott. Now, talk to me when I see what his contract is. Like I've seen some people talking about $11 million. I'm like, pump the brakes. To this date, the guy scored 42 points. He might score 65, which would be great. And maybe he scores 75. I don't know. But I'm not paying a guy 11 sheets when he's only ever scored 40 points in a season. No chance.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I can't believe there wasn't some kind of talk before about what the deal might look like. Like even Simone Nemec, right, going to Calgary, like you're not going to, I guess you could, but you're going to probably talk and say, hey, can we at least talk to their agents, see where their head's at, and see if they can find some, because those are two big moves for both the Flames and the Blackhawks, adding those D to their back end.
What'd you make of the Babcock presser?
Confident guy. Hey, thanks for the question. That's a great question. Thanks for asking that. I appreciate it. Like he was definitely trying to just kind of contain the message and get his message out. A lot of the stuff he said, for the hockey side, I really agree with, trying to get guys roles, and Stan Bowman doubled down on that as well. Making sure guys understand what they're supposed to do and give them those roles. So if he can do that, that'll be helpful. Then how is he going to use the big guys? I'm really interested to see how that plays out for that group.
Well, he's mentioned it. I don't know if you've read Speck's article today. He talked to Connor McDavid about it. And, it was interesting. McDavid said, hey, you know what? Babcock's different. He's a different person. We haven't had that here. So clearly he feels like maybe, and I get it, like Connor McDavid has, he desperately wants to win, right? Like, he probably puts too much pressure on himself to win. If I'm being honest, I don't think it's great. I'm not sure if it leads to best possibility, but he's saying, okay, we need a coach like no more. Because if there's one thing that those players do great is they create a lot of plays. There's one thing they do poorly is they would mismanage the puck, and they can make some giveaways at times that are just like, what are you doing? So I would guess with Babcock, there's going to be a little bit more, I would say, tough love from the head coach.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. And your point's well made. Like these guys, they're elite offensive players, right? So, and they've had good moments of defensive hockey, But I think he's going to challenge them to be consistent in that. And when they do it, now it fires through everybody, and you can hold everybody accountable through that roster. I'm just curious, does he do it? What do you start like that in October? Or you same in March, or you same in April on those guys? And I say those guys, it's your core, and I'm going to include the core here, about doing the right thing. That includes Evan Bouchard. He's at time can be guilty of the huge misplay. What's Babcock going to do? Is he going to say, well, that's unfortunately that's par for the course when you have a guy that makes a lot of high risk moves at times, or do you ask him to dial back that risk and show him video? Say, hey, these are plays where you don't need to take the risk. These are plays where we think it's acceptable. Like I'm fascinated to see how this all plays out with the core guys, because ultimately they're on the ice the most. And then, does he play the two of them together? How does he get the guys into roles? How does he set up lines? Is he going to be a little more steady with lines? If he sets up a first, second, third, fourth line and it doesn't go well after 40 minutes, does he change it, or does he let it breathe and work it through and continue to play guys? So I'm fascinated. I honestly, Greg, for me, this new chapter in the Oilers coaching, I can't wait for it to start. It can't start soon enough.
DJ Smith had some comments about the penalty kill and needing to be way more aggressive than it has been in the past. That's something that they'll want to do. I talked to Dickinson and Murphy, and he feels like, you got to find the system that works for the players. You got that, to me, is kind of the key. Those two guys have to make up 50% of the Oilers' first penalty kill unit. There's you give me one reason why Murphy's not the number one right defenseman, I'd love to see it. And why Dickinson shouldn't be the first forward over the boards in the penalty kill. So which are the other two, Struddy, that you think will start opening night on the penalty kill with Dickinson and Murphy?
It's going to be Ekholm, but I'll put an asterisk beside that because I have yet to see what's going to happen with Darnell Nurse. So in this scenario, I'm expecting Nurse to be traded, and I expect them to either trade for and or sign a guy that's going to be a penalty killer on that third pairing. So I'm going to hold it back, but if it's not, it's Ekholm. And then up front, I think they have to involve guys on that bottom pair. And in this scenario, I'll say that captain's not going to be there. So, do you go Dickinson and, does Szymanski get a chance? Is it Janmark? Is he back? Because you got it. Nuge will be the other guy. And then does Pot Colton? I've heard you ringing that bell. And I agree with you, Pot Colton. If you want to go Dickinson, Paul Goldson, and then Janmark, Nuge, let's see what it looks like, right? But that leaves, if the fourth line's Doc, Szymanski, Trent Frederick, none of those guys have any specialty teams. And that's not good for them, but it's also, Greg's, not good for the team.
Yeah. I look at Ty Emberson and Murphy would be my two right pair defenders as of right now. Now, unless they make an acquisition, those would be first and second. Evan Bouchard can kill penalties. I don't need him to be my leading penalty killer. Sorry. It doesn't make any sense to me. He plays on the power play. He plays a lot of 5-on-5. He doesn't need to play in the penalty kill for 2 minutes a night. Give me a break. Put Emberson, put Murphy on it. Enough said. Now, you mentioned Ekholm, and it might be Ekholm and Murphy, and then it's Wallman and Emberson. The difference with that is you're kind of changing up your D pairs, right? So you might just, if Wallman's going to kill penalties, you could just play him with Murphy, potentially, right? Or maybe they feel, well, Ekholm's better, so let's play Ekholm more with Murphy, and away we go from there. But I think those are the guys. Now, the Darnell Nurse situation, Struddy, we know he's asked for trade. He's got a very limited list right now. I know 3 teams that are on the list. I don't know if there's more. I've heard rumblings of maybe another 1 or 2, but not many. And so if you can't facilitate a trade right away to any of those teams, either Nurse decides to increase his list, or do you think there's any chance he could return this year?
I feel like that bell has been rung. The Oilers there was rumblings they were going to ask him to move clause, and then Darnell Nurse says, okay, he'll take ownership or take the leadership here and say, okay, these are the teams. So I would, if it was me, I would feel like my mind is already elsewhere. I'm already somewhere else, right? Wherever that is. So now to walk that back, it's not impossible, but I think it'd be a challenge because the team wanted to move on from you, right? You already knew that. And yes, there's a new coaching staff. I get it. But this decision was made by the manager who would still be there, Stan Bowman. So I think it'd be difficult to walk that back.
Yeah, for sure. Struddy, give me your thoughts on the Elks. Are they going 3-0?
Man, I sure hope so, but they're building confidence in themselves, and you saw that game, the way they were playing. You know, they stuck with it against a good team. I'm encouraged by the way they do it. So whether they win or not, you know, they're building and they're starting to understand. You look at them; they're 2-0. I think the Stamps are 0-2, and that's really important because they're now well above one of their primary rivalries. And this is a big step for a team that has been, the doormat for this league for a number of years.
Struddy, have yourself a wonderful day, and we will chat with you next week.
Yeah, I'll be on Carious tomorrow to say goodbye to an absolute legend, both in reality and in his own mind. I'm not sure where he's actually bigger.
Yeah, well, I'm curious. Is he going to wear his red coat into studio on Friday? That's the question.
Oh, God. And he's, I hear he doesn't wear a shirt when he goes for walks around his neighborhood. Like, someone's got to stop that. Like, that's just wrong. Burning people's retinas.
Thanks, Struddy. Have yourself an awesome day.
See you, buddy.
There you go. It's Jason Strudwick here on Sports 1440. We will return. We got lots more. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Are new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more? Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
The Riverhawks return this weekend for First Responders Firework Friday. Enjoy Country Nights Mechanical Bull on Saturday with Daisy's Saloon. Then Boston Pizza presents baseballs and body slams on Sunday with a real wrestling ring. Fun for the whole family. Tickets at GoHawks.ca.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Boxing Day is back at the Brick. Find amazing deals all weekend long, like save $1,000 off a genuine leather reclining sofa. Save up to 40% off select mattresses, plus get a 10% instant credit to use towards sleep accessories. And find the lowest prices of the year on select beds, dining tables, and chairs. Don't miss the return of Boxing Day this Saturday and Sunday, only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See you in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit FountainTire.com today.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at hughescarwash.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Druid Irish Pub, Edmonton's favorite soccer home. The Druid Irish Pub is back in the Ice District across from Rogers Place. Watch all the games with $6.50 Heineken only at the Druid Irish Pub.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Or 28 as we continue on a busy Wednesday. We are inching closer, 2 days away from the 2026 NHL draft. It is the Gregor Show, is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Casino, sports, live dealer, lottery, instance, all in one stop at PlayAlberta.ca. As the NHL entry draft, of course, is going on, and we go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. They provide maintenance and electrical testing for commercial buildings. In their testing division, they got service projects and residential and commercial solar as well. ActionElectrical.net. And our next guest, very busy, of course, lots of time outlining the prospects, scouting. I don't know if you're making out scouting reports. I'm assuming so. I'd be curious. I'd like to see what one of them looks like. Because Sam Cosentino, Sportsnet draft analyst, joins us. Sam, welcome back to the show, my man. How you doing?
Yeah, nice to be back. Thanks. Yeah, doing great. I mean, I'm loving the action. I just wish they'd save a little bit of it for Friday because I love the chaos during the middle of the draft, but there might not be anything left to do.
Yeah, well, you've got a lot of teams right now. St. Louis has 4 picks. San Jose has 3. There's 10 teams that don't have one because some of them have made trades. I want to get your thoughts on, because I saw a lot of people like, oh my God, I can't believe they gave Bowen Byram for the 4th overall pick. And I'm like, well, Bowen Byram was a 4th overall pick, and he's a pretty established player. Where do you come out on that trade and the value of the number 4 overall pick?
Yeah, so really interesting for me. It almost looks like a bit of a money issue for me, for Buffalo. Thinking about what that next deal is going to look like for Bowen Byram. Like, is it get into that $9 or $10 million range? And I'm as big a fan as any of Bowen Byram, going back to his days playing with the Vancouver Giants in the Western Hockey League, Stanley Cup winner. But I'm not so sure if I'd want to give him $9 or $10 million. That's probably what the market is going to bear for him. And so when you're looking at Buffalo and, you know, what kind of business they have coming up and whatnot, maybe that's not an area that they wanted to go down. And quite frankly, they think that they probably can address that area with a defenseman at the 4 pick. They're going to have, you know, in my estimation, they're going to have the pick of the best defenseman available. And that could be Reed. It could be Verhoff. It could be Reed, Verhoff, Karls. One of those 3 guys, I believe, is going to be the first off the board. Now, I have Reed first. Buffalo may think differently. But maybe they feel that that's a player that they can get to replace Bowen Byram, probably not next year, but 2 years down the road. The other part of that is maybe they're able to address the center position. And Caleb Maholtra, in my mind, goes 3. That puts Viggo Bjork in that spot at 4. So getting that 4 pick for Buffalo makes a lot of sense. When you think about the Chicago Blackhawks and the ability to get the puck in their forwards' hands a little more so you don't get a frustrated Frank Nazar, a frustrated Connor Bedard, Byram is going to be able to do that better than any of the young defensemen they have. And I love what they have defensively, and I love what they have coming. Those guys simply aren't ready yet, and Byram's been there, done that. So that's going to add a huge element to their forward group, despite him being a defenseman and maybe people not looking at it necessarily that way.
Well, that was the first thing I wrote about him. Like, guys, like Connor Bedard, you got to sign him to a contract with your Chicago. And part of it is showing them, okay, we're showing some growth there, because he knows, the players know, you know, who's good at what and who isn't good at it. And it doesn't mean they don't have good young defensemen. I really like the defense in Chicago, but they're young. And none of them, I think, have the high-end potential of Bowen Byram. I think Bowen Byram is going to be a 60. I won't be shocked at all if he's a 60-point D-man next year.
Yeah, and what does that get you? That gets you probably 10 sheets, right? 9 or 10 sheets.
Yeah.
By the time he's ready to sign the new deal.
Yeah, so that'd be good for him. Looking at the draft, you mentioned Maholtra. You think he's probably the you got McKenna going 1, Stenberg going 2, and then Maholtra going 3 of the defensemen. And you have Reed first, but there's there's lots of D-men. Then there's Smits, and then there's Verhoff, and people like him for different reasons. What is it ultimately that landed you, Sam, at number 1 for Reed as a defenseman?
Big right shot guy, dynamic ability. I think he's the most dynamic defenseman of the lot. I mean, the numbers don't suggest that of what Carl's or what even Verhoff in college did or what Rudolph did. Having said that, the thing that I like maybe the most is the adversity in his background. Cut from his USHL team, had to go play in the Null, gets an opportunity to go and play in Sault Ste. Marie. He's given that inch. He takes a mile within a week or two. He's playing 19 minutes a game and accepted all of that responsibility without issue whatsoever. And then he comes back this year and the U.S. says, this kid's pretty good. We better take him to the World Juniors. When Cole Hudson gets hurt, he's running the power play there. And I think he's just scratching the surface. So a couple of things: big right shot, skater, scratching the surface, adversity in his past. Those would be 5 reasons why I would have him as my number 1 defenseman.
Okay. As we get closer and you talk to teams and, you kind of get a sense sometimes of who they like and different things like that. Has there been any player that you feel has risen in the eyes of the scouts or even in yourself that you talk to here? I'm not talking into the top 5 or 10 guys. I'm talking, someone else, because every year in the draft, there are players you look back on, wow, that guy was taken 12th and he's maybe the best guy, et cetera, et cetera. So are there guys that have really kind of risen either on your board or in the conversations with the other scouts you talk to?
Yeah, I'd say there's a couple of guys that sit in that, in that bucket, I guess. Novotny's a guy really interesting for me. Played in Peterborough last year.
Yeah.
A guy who's kind of a big body guy who has the ability, like he showed at the World Juniors, to be a checker, but also a volume shooter and a really good one at that. He's a very interesting guy. Klepov out of Sarnia. He's another guy that I think people are sleeping on here a little bit. I think he's inside of 15. Comes over from the USHL, more than doubles his point production from the USHL, leads the Ontario Hockey League in scoring, hasn't been done by a 17-year-old and a first-year player in the league since Patrick Kane in 2007. So there's a lot to like about not only his shooting ability, but his vision. And, this guy's a wizard with the puck. So I think he gained a little bit of steam when it comes to the combine and afterwards. Maddox Dagenet is probably another guy. He's a lot lower on a lot of lists, probably beyond the 20 range. He's a guy that I see now somewhere in the 18 to 23 or 4 range. His dad, Pierre, was a New Jersey pick, the father-son combo, of the first ever to be selected first overall in the Q draft. Dagenet was a 30-goal guy, again, a volume shooter, I think 294 shots on goal for the Quebec Ramparts, and a guy who I think started to figure things out at the end of November at that CHL USA Prospects Challenge games, where he realized that, hey, if I'm not going to be a scorer, and it's probably not going to happen for me on a nightly basis in the National Hockey League, I'm going to go and be a hard, straight line, tough to play against guy. The other thing he adds is the positional versatility. He can play center and he can play left wing.
Okay. Sam Cosentino joins us. The draft is always fascinating. Sam, what about goaltenders? What is this class of goalies? How does it come out for you?
Pretty good. It's probably a run that starts late in the first. I mean, I think about the teams with multiple picks. St. Louis in particular sticks out to me that if they do keep them all, they can kind of go around the horn, hit a defenseman, hit a winger, hit a center, and hit a goalie. And the goalie would be the last of those. Tobias Treble's my guy, played in Youngstown last year. He's my first guy off the board.
Okay.
I just love his calmness, square to the puck, really good. Brady Noling's another big guy who just signed on with Saginaw, coming into the U.S. Under-18 program. You have a couple of Russian goalies in there. We know how that's fared in the National Hockey League. So I would say it's quite good. I'm happy with the goaltending situation this year. On every draft since 2018, I think 20 have been taken all told, and some of those have been sprinkled in the first round, albeit not too many.
When you do your analysis, Sam, over the year, and you've done this for a long time, so I don't know if I would say you have a formula, but when you're analyzing the players, how much is it comparing to what other guys do, or just focusing on what the player himself does?
I think you have to take both into consideration, but I would say, Jason, like my lean more than most people probably is like I lean on the character side of things. So I'm a big guy who's like, when you sit down, do you look someone in the eye? Do you shake their hand? Do you engage in conversation? Do you re-engage in that conversation? What's it look like for you as someone character-wise that sometime down the road I might be paying $8, $10, $12 million a year to? Are you going to be able to handle that? What's your family background? Those sorts of things tend to really kind of float my boat maybe more than others. And I look at that sort of like the finishing touch to the process. And so again, I probably think a little bit more about that stuff than everybody else. But you're obviously trying to do an apples to apples conversation. And so for a guy like Verhoff, for example, right? You look at Karls and you look at Rudolph, both right around the 80-point mark, both right around the 30-goal mark.
Right.
If Keaton Verhoff played in Victoria this year, he'd be a 30-85 guy as well. But he goes to college, and the scoring profile still speaks of a guy who puts up points as a draft-eligible defenseman in the NCAA that hadn't been done in 20 years. That's still pretty elite.
Yeah.
Yet I think he's kind of suffered here a little bit. And again, you kind of sit and you place yourself like if he's in Victoria, you try and make that apples to apples comparison, but it's really a difficult thing to do.
Oh yeah, and well, I wonder, does it become harder now because you really hadn't seen that many, young draft eligible players going the NCAA route in the past, and there seems to be more all of a sudden. So have you had to alter so you don't say, well, we know they're playing tougher competition because they're playing older players? How does that factor into your evaluation?
It does factor, right? And some people kind of forget about that. So you're looking for that, what's the translatable thing? So now you got to scout in the vacuum a little bit and you got to sit there and watch. Okay, what's the skating work? What's the edge work like? Does he accept contact? Is he willing to be physically engaged? What's the shot like? Is it a really good hard shot? Does he get it off quickly? Is he a guy who can find lanes? First pass, can he do that a little bit quicker when the pressure's on him a little bit more at the NCAA level? So you look at those kind of vacuum things and you look at the individual skill sets and the attributes that you would appreciate as someone who would be scouting for an NHL team. And you try and evaluate those things in a vacuum. And then what you try and do is extrapolate the numbers to if that player played, for example, in the CHL, in the USHL, or if the player's coming from one of those leagues, what would it look like if he were playing college hockey, right? So again, it's really difficult. This is the new reality. And this player freedom, if you will, this player power, if you will, obviously we're starting to see it in the National Hockey League as well, but it got kickstarted here with this CHL NCAA loophole opening up.
Sam Cosentino joins the Sportsnet draft analyst. The NHL draft is on Friday. But Sam, a lot of times where you can win the draft, obviously you got to make your first round picks count. But man, second, third, there's lots of teams that, hey, look at Tampa Bay. As good as Hedman and Stamkos were, look at Kucherov and Point, second and third round picks, right? Their top pick wasn't even Vasilevsky. It was Slater Cuckoo. So the first round we focus on a lot. I get it. But for a guy like you, Sam, when that's your job, you're looking at all these players, like, do you almost get more enjoyment to kind of see what goes on in the later rounds and what teams look for? Yeah, for sure. That's a huge part because you sit there and you try and do like your personal evaluation. You think, wow, this guy's really good. Like a Thomas Galvis, for example, right? So this is a guy who's gone through the draft a couple of times already. He was absolutely brilliant. Like one of the best defensemen at the World Juniors. So you're thinking to yourself, like, I think this guy is going to translate. He's not the biggest guy, but he does so many things well. He plays a mistake-free brand. Like this guy should be, he looks to me like a 6 or 7 guy in the NHL at worst. But he's gone through the draft twice before. What have people missed? How much has this guy improved? Is he a late bloomer? All those sorts of things. And then it comes to fruition and you watch how it goes, 2 and 3 years down the road. And you're like, oh, I get it. This is what I saw. This is pretty cool. It matches up with what my eye saw. And a guy that I'll give you a perfect example of is when I was doing CHL games on Sportsnet, we had that Canada-Russia series. Yes. And that was always like, it wasn't good in its early stages, but once the CHL started to pay the Russians to come over, like it got
those games got a lot better and a lot more competitive. But Gavrikov and Panarin are two guys that I looked at that played in those series. And so what's cool is you get to see him for 6 games, not just 2. And you get to see him like after travel going through each of the 3 leagues. And those are 2 guys that I felt really strongly about how they played. Now, Panarin, like he is now, was thin as a rail. But you could see the smarts, you could see the sense, his ability to pace, his hands were really good, vision, creativity. All of those things were evident. And then he disappeared for a little while back to Russia. And of course, we know the story with him coming to the National Hockey League and all he's done. Gavrikov was another guy who I thought, at the very least, this guy's going to sit in a 5 or 6 hole, and he's just going to be able to take care of business. He's going to do it quietly. He's going to do it efficiently. He's going to do it without fuss or muss. He's probably not going to give you a ton of, offensively, but he's going to be a really good complementary guy. And as it turns out, he is, he's put together a really good National Hockey League career.
Sam, it should be interesting. Do you think anybody will be willing to trade up or out of the top 10?
I do. Buffalo's really interesting to me for sure.
Okay.
At 4, San Jose at 9. Like I can, here's the thing, like depending how this shakes down, if a deke gets thrown in those first 8 picks, I think Mike Greer's phone's going to be ringing hot and heavy for 9, because what it might mean is it might mean a Smiths, it might mean a Verhoff sitting there, right, and teams are really going to covet those guys. So that I could see that happening more so at 9 than 4. I think Buffalo probably makes the pick, but I do think there's going to be at least one top 10 traded on I don't want to call it on the floor because no one's on the floor anymore, but like during that time of the first round.
Awesome. Really appreciate it, Sam, so much. Enjoy the draft, my man.
Okay. Thanks, Jason. Take care. Have a good night.
You betcha. That's Sam Cosentino, Sportsnet draft analyst. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. We'll come back. We got 5 questions, stats of the day, spec, and much, much more on a busy Thursday edition of the Gregor Show, or Wednesday edition presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with track hoe or backhoe experience? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with track hoe or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
I'm good to go. Good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. Mortgagestogo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, I'm good to go.
Jason Gregor isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder with over $3 million raised for local charities. And his Gregor Foundation, he's making a difference on and off the air. Check out Gregor weekday afternoons on Sports 1440.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
You want it? We got it. At Harley-Davidson of Edmonton, we have a huge bike inventory just waiting for you to ride. We're not a car dealer. We're your local family bike shop. We are riders supporting riders. Come find your dream bike here at Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail, locally owned and operated since 1980. Find us at hdedmonton.com.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Think a quality golf cart is out of your budget? Think again. At the Golf Cart People, we have a fantastic selection of fully inspected, pre-owned carts starting at just $4,500. Choose from gas, electric, or lithium-ion power to fit your lifestyle. And the best part, every used cart comes with a 1-year warranty for total peace of mind. Why wait? Get the cart you've always wanted today. Visit the Golf Cart People. Find out more at golfcartpeople.com.
Saturday, get ready to take the field for Game Changers, a women's training camp. Your Edmonton Elks are bringing back the fun. Don't miss this unforgettable evening of football, connection, and purpose, all in support of ovarian cancer research. Step on to Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium for an empowering training camp experience. Learn the fundamentals of the game, take part in a unique behind-the-scenes stadium tour, and much more. That's this Saturday, so register now at goelks.com/gamechangers.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.450, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Hope you are having a lovely, lovely Wednesday. I know Canada fans a little disappointed with the 2-1 loss today, but now the tournament can begin officially, because now it's going to be a single elimination. Well, at least for Canada. Of course, the single elimination games will begin on Sunday. We will have more group games leading up over the next few days, but Canada, a little bit short of a turnaround. And as I said, Connor Halling, the coach, confirmed that I never expected Alphonso Davies to play in the group stage, and he didn't. And now the coach says he'll be available. Said he was a decoy today. And lots of soccer people are upset about it. Oh my God, the coach was he was using strategy. Like, really? Is that big of a deal? The players knew. He knew he wasn't playing. I don't think it's something to get your undies in a knot over, at least for me anyway. So we'll see. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick, where you stop in right now and it feels like December because it's Boxing Week sales in June. Massive sales on the year. Look, select beds, dining room tables, chairs, lowest prices of the year, 40% off select mattresses. You can also get some great deals of below cost high definition TVs for only $99. Oof. You got some kids, you're just moving out of the home. Be a good place to get them off to a good start at The Brick and thebrick.com.
for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, question number 1. You talk about the loss to the Swiss today, 2-1. What is one thing you'd like to see Canada clean up ahead of their game on Sunday in Los Angeles?
Well, yeah, I thought they had 2 pretty bad defensive breakdowns in that game and misreads from their back line. So I would say that.
Yeah, I mean, ball watching certainly cost them on that second goal. For me, I'd like to see them play just a little more urgency, like the tempo they play with when they're trailing. How about we see that to start the game? You know, try to score, get that first goal on top. That is something that I would like to see, just a little more urgency from the team. Question number 2, outside of Canada, and as we head into the round of 32 eventually, who's been your favorite team or player to watch at the World Cup?
Wow. It's hard to go against, man. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to go Mbappe. I've been really impressed by him.
I'm going to go with Norway and Erling Haaland. The goals will score is one thing. This guy is 6'5", and their fans are just popping up everywhere. I think they were at the Mets game today doing the row thing that they do. I've loved the fan bases coming into the States and Canada and kind of showing off their culture. So I think the Norwegians, for me, have been something that's been a really cool story. Question number 3, of all the moves we've seen in the last couple of days here, has there been one for you that you've liked the most that stood out?
Go ahead.
You know, I will say I like the Capitals' aggressiveness with their moves. Going getting Jordan Kyrou yesterday from the St. Louis Blues. It cost you Connor McMichael. I know, a good player and a first-round pick, but I like that move that they did, and then getting Alex Tuck. So both those moves to me for the Washington Capitals, whether it is to secure your future without Ovi or to try to lure him back for one more year, I love what they've been doing.
Especially in that division. I think it's smart if you're the Capitals. And they've still got some young guys coming, right? That's the advantage that they have. So they got a good young prospect pool in Washington. I'm curious why I haven't heard anything about John Carlson going back there. I don't know why, but it happens very rarely. But that would seem like a guy who could go back for another tour if he wants. But we'll see. A team that I like. It's a good question. I will go. You know what? Buffalo. They didn't overpay Tuck because I wasn't comfortable doing that. And, they've made some moves. They've freed up some space. I think they're looking to take another big swing here. So I like Buffalo. Now, Bowen Byram, they've got a lot of guys on the back end. So I like Bowen Byram, a player. But they needed like a different type of defenseman. They got that in Louis Crevier because they already have Dahlin. They got a lot of guys who can move the puck. Right? They needed size, physicality, a little bit different of a skill set. So I've liked what Buffalo's done.
Yeah, clearing Greenway too, $4 million. I like you say, maybe a big swing with that extra cap space. Question number 4 for you on this day. In 2011, the Edmonton Oilers selected Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with the first overall pick in the NHL entry draft. If there was a redraft of 2011, where do you think he would be selected?
Oh, man. Well,
so points ahead of him: Kucherov, Scheifele, Zibanejad, Huberdeau.
I know that. Like Kucherov was going to be the number 1 pick. There's no debate on that, right? If you redid right now, because some of the guys have been kind of banged up, right? Like the one thing about his draft class, like I guess Dougie Hamilton would be the best defenseman in the draft, and he's still a top pair D-man. So would you look and say, would I take a top pair D-man? Probably. Scheifele would be ahead of him. I think Zibanejad would be ahead of him only because he's a little bit more of a goal scorer. I think it's really close when you look at Nugent-Hopkins and him. Zibanejad has 1,818 points. Nuge has 804 points. They both played just over 1,000 games, so it's pretty close there. Would JT Miller go ahead of Nuge? I think he would. The late Johnny Gaudreau definitely would have. So I would say like he's still top 10 pick. It's probably like 7 or 8.
Yeah, I mean, I had him right there as well. All the names you listed, I would have slotted ahead of Nuge. 7, 8, 9. To me, he's still top 10, but he's not higher than 5. So between 5 and 10 would be the answer.
Still a good pick. Right?
Oh, yeah, and you'd be thrilled to get him, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Final question for you today. I was out yesterday putting wood mulch in the backyard. It smells awful. Like it's treated and it stinks. And I might have got high when I drove home with all the bags in the back of my car. But while doing it, my neighbor leaned over and said, "What are you doing? That smells so good." So my question to you and to the listeners, what is something that is typically disliked by most people in terms of smell or taste, but you actually like?
Oh, you go first. I got to think about this one.
For me, and my friends would probably be quick to tell you, black licorice. I love Sambuca. So if we were out younger doing a shot, that would be the one I would go to. And it would be mostly met with groans of like, why Sambuca? I also don't mind, is it Thrills, the soap gum?
Like the taste of it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
well,
kind of like
it
that.
tastes like, as a kid, I loved it. I haven't had Thrills in a long time, but as a kid, I thought it was purple. Yeah. Fantastic.
I don't know if I still would, but those would be the two things that stand out. Both could be related to candy.
So things that you like, ooh, yeah.
The smell of gasoline, like a little gasoline for me is okay too.
Oh, gross. No.
Just a hint.
No, I don't know. Yeah.
Throw it on my neck, little cologne.
Try that and see what the wife says. I'll just be curious. You smell like ass. No, gas. Yeah.
It's gas. Yeah.
Something that I like as far as smell or taste. Oof. Trying to think. Like, what's a food that, like, I'm not Mr. I guess oysters. Like, lots of people don't, but that's not so much the taste of oyster. I think it's how they, like, a lot of people just don't like the texture of oysters. I love them, but I know lots of people who like them too. So, but I know some people that just can't, like, they can't do it. Like, maybe the smell of fish, like tuna doesn't bother me. Like, some people hate the smell of fish, so I know that's kind of a weak one, but I'm trying, like, I'm definitely not like you, like gas. No, thanks. Get off on the gas smell. Thrills was a good one because I actually like Thrills. But I haven't had one in a long time, so I can't say if I do it now. I'm just gonna say, like, I don't like scented candles. I think most of them smell terrible. So that would probably be the opposite of what you wanted, but I'm not a scented candle guy at all.
Not any scent.
No, not really. No. Like, some people go in their car and they've got like it used to be the tree and it would smell and be like, God, I never liked those. I always thought like it was way too much. I'm like, I'm getting in your car. Why does it smell like this? You get a small car, and then some of those people, they've got like the green tree one.
Yeah.
And they've got it hanging from their rear dash. And then they got one over their door. I'm just like, oh my dude. Like, I don't know what's in those things, but no chance. Can't stand it. Don't like it at all.
I don't like new car smell on the flip side. So I would put an air freshener to try to get rid of that.
Hey guys, WD-40, unreal smell. What? Really? Okay. That's now this. See, everybody's weird, man. Because now, we're just coming out with weird things. Guys, don't at me, but asparagus pea, it does reek, and it's the worst. Right? Like, you kind of got the bright yellow. Like, what's going on? It's like the first time you eat beets, and then you're like, what's happening? Something wrong? And, oh, yeah, I had beets. Okay, I'm alive still. It's good. But that is definitely an aroma. I can't believe people like it. Like, oh, my goodness. Hey, guys, best smells, tennis balls, tires, car washes.
I had to reply. The car wash, that like rainbow soap they put down.
But how do you smell it? Like, you're in your car.
You turn on the AC or whatever. Just inhale it. My wife loved it. I was like, that's pretty toxic, I think. But
oh my God. It's some weird stuff.
It smell good.
That is that's weird. We got a lot of garlic. Well, yeah, I don't mind garlic smell. I don't mind garlic at all. But hey guys, brake cleaner, very good. What do there's gotta be some people that maybe work in the garage industry, so I totally get it. So maybe you're around that stuff all the time, but like, what's next? Someone's gonna text in, hey Gregor, I like the smell of Varsol. Like, God. Now that brings back memories, man. Anybody who's worked in the oil field now or still does, man, I loathe the smell of that. But there was the the hand cleaner that was the white cream and it had like the kind of like felt like it had sandpaper in it and it came in a green tub. That smelled good. I have no idea what it's called, but I do remember that back in the day working at Premium Oilfield Inspection. That was money. Let's get to the Conman Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Trust me, everything there smells like roses. And it is the road trip ready event right now. If you're looking for a fantastic, their best deal of the summer, but you only have until Tuesday. So stop in this weekend, northgategm.com.
The Sports 1440 update.
Earlier today at the World Cup, Canada fell to Switzerland 2-1. With that, they will play on Sunday in Los Angeles, taking on the second-place team from Group A. Elsewhere, Bosnia over Qatar 3-1. At halftime, Brazil leading Scotland 2-0. And Haiti and Morocco tied at 2 apiece. Also at halftime later tonight, Mexico and Czechia. And also got South Africa taking on South Korea from Guadalupe. In the NHL, couple of moves. Forward Alex Tuch heading to the Washington Capitals in a sign-and trade with a third-round pick going back to the Buffalo Sabres. The Caps and Tuch reaching a deal 8 years, $84 million, while the Preds trading Fedor Suchkov and Zachary LaRue to the Avs for Jack Drury, Chase Bradley, and a 2029 third-rounder. Major League Baseball, the Blue Jays in action tonight, taking on the Astros just after 5. We'll join that game in progress following the Jason Gregor Show on our AM feed. Right now, Orioles and Angels tied at 5. Guardians up on the White Sox 2-1, while the Mariners lead the Pirates 1-0. Later tonight, Dodgers in Minnesota, Padres host the Braves, and the Athletics taking on the Giants. Earlier today, the Marlins doubled up the Rangers 4-2, and it was the Cubbies over the Mets by a score of 10-3. Round 2 of the NBA draft goes tonight. It's going in just under an hour. The Knicks on the clock. The Raptors will make the 50th overall selection. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet. We'll hear Cam Pate's 2-minute warning and get to the stats of the day. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your
Sunday,
own flavor
still
just
not
for you. Order
to
two
the
or more with
elimination
Papa
today.
Pairings and get
So,
yours for only $9.99
Clock,
each.
welcome
New
back. If you
personal
missed it,
pizzas are
can't.
ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent
Teams
Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Boxing Day is back at the Brick. Find amazing deals all weekend long, like save $1,000 off a genuine leather reclining sofa. Save up to 40% off select mattresses. Plus, get a 10% instant credit to use towards sleep accessories. And find the lowest prices of the year on select beds, dining tables, and chairs. Don't miss the return of Boxing Day, this Saturday and Sunday, only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Why should you drive a Subaru? How about durability, style, and an excellent customer experience from the moment you step into the showroom? And how about accolades, including awards for numerous 2026 Subaru models from both AutoTrader and JD Power? But don't just take my word for it. Take a test drive and you'll see why the Subaru name is recognized and renowned for quality. To learn more, visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
It might have been scraped by the snowblower, dented while door crashing, or crunched at the company Christmas party. At some point over the winter, your car was damaged and it's been hiding under a coat of winter grime.
Then come and see Robertson Body Works. We can take care of the damage and the dirt. This week only, call and book a repair and get a complete auto detailing absolutely free.
But you have to book your appointment before the week is up. Go to RobertsonBodyWorks.com.
I'm Tim Robertson, and I fix cars.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Big jobs, tight spaces, and serious reliability. Emerald Equipment is your local Yanmar dealer. Compact track loaders, mini excavators, wheel loaders, tough, reliable machines built for any job. JapaMachinery.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 5 o'clock. How you doing? Once again, it's the Gregor Show. Play on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Say hello to the deck man. Ask him about the how's Giannis going to play for the Heat this year. Let him know. Give him a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. He'll appreciate it. We'll appreciate you listening, as always, and you make your way home tonight. PlayAlberta.ca, our title sponsor of the show. Yeah, the only place where you can have casino, sports, live dealer, lottery, instance, and the games all in one place. PlayAlberta.ca. Or download the app and play today. Of course, more trades in the National Hockey League today. We'll get to those. You have a disappointing loss for Canada at the World Cup. 2-1, so they will now play Sunday as the elimination games begin on Sunday. We got Jay's action coming up later on today. Man, if you're looking for entertainment, this Morocco-Haiti game is unreal so far. It has been highly entertaining with 4 goals in the first half and lots of chances, and both crowds on both sides loving it. So the one thing about the World Cup, though, I will say, just the parades and the pageantry and everything else about it, it's that part is pretty awesome. Not going to lie. Let's get to the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. They want to remind you as you make your way through the construction zones, slow down. Those construction people, just like you, big sports fans, they're family people. They want to get home safe. So you drive safe through construction zones from GS Construction. As Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet join us. And Spec, you had an article day. You had a conversation with Connor McDavid. And I'm going to read one of your quotes because you know it, but maybe our listeners haven't heard it. When you asked him about Babcock and everything else, is all I can speak to him as being our head coach today, and we want him to come in and be hard on Leon and Nuge and Bush and Eki and Heisey and me. We want to push those guys. We want lifting up everybody else. That's what he's here to do. 2 things I noticed there. Didn't mention Darnell Nurse. So maybe they're always kind of talking like he's moved on. And B, do you think that's going to happen?
Well, first of all, I could see why you don't. Let's face it, Nurse is getting traded. So I don't, I don't see any sort of subterfuge or anything.
No. But
he leaves the guy out,
yet, right?
The guy's not going to be here.
Yeah.
What was the rest of the question?
Do you think it's actually going to happen?
Oh, I see. Well, listen, I know that we've heard, I know that we've heard that he's hardest on on the supporting cast. I know that we've been told that and I'm not saying it's not true. He's been rough on people around the team, stadium people, arena people, equipment staff, all that. That stuff, does that change? I can't predict if that changes. I don't have a clue if that'll change. Will he, he's definitely, according to McDavid, according to Bowman, according to all the people above him and below him, his job here is to take the best players and get more out of them and use them differently. And, I asked McDavid in that conversation a couple times, what about when lands on your doorstep and you're the one getting called off for having a bad game? And he said, you know what? He says, I'm ready for it. That's what he says. I think the quote was, it's about time we had that in Edmonton. So all you can do is take them at their word, Jay. All you can do is take them at their word. If it doesn't happen, we'll be watching for it.
Yeah. More trades today in the NHL spec. The Washington Capitals yesterday, they went out and got Kyrou, gave up McMichael and a 16th. Like the Capitals, they can afford to move a few young guys because they've got a lot of other young guys. And then today they go out and they get Alex Tuck at 8 years spec.
Oh boy.
What do you make of Alex Tuck at 8 years at 10.5?
Well, how old's Alex Tuck right now? 30 what?
I think he's 30.
30. So 30 years. That's a lot. Washington for me is one of those, they're like the real retool team. 2 seasons ago, they surprised everybody and they retooled and they were really good. And Carberry won the Jack Adams and they were the talk of the East, man. They were a good team. This year, not quite as good, right? They fell back. They're, several years ago, the Rangers retooled. And we thought, man, did they ever turn that thing around fast? Well, didn't last. So, I admire the efforts to try to retool and avoid a rebuild. Not a whole lot of teams have pulled it off, Jay. And I guess we're going to ask each other if Washington's that team. Can they survive this thing? Kyrou's a good player. They've got a lot out of Pierre-Luc Dubois there. After that, I'm looking at their forwards. Dylan Strome, okay. Protas had a real good couple seasons. If he can improve, that's good. But, what do you think? Does that retool get anywhere, or does that retool just allow them to stay around 8th place?
I actually really I think Ryan Leonard is a really good player. I like Protas. I like Kristoff. I'm more concerned is what are they going to do in net? On the defense. That's my concern in Washington, right? Because I like their goaltending and I like their young forward group. I'm not sure about their blue line.
For sure. The Chikrin's their best guy. Then you get into their second pair with Matt Roy and Rasmus Sandin, and then you're into Liljegren, and you're into the depth here. So, you know what? It's an okay, right? They're okay. Logan Thompson had a really good year. Can he continue? He's been up and down in his career. Listen, let's see. Let's see what Washington does there.
Right. Cole Hudson's their one young D-man where you go, hey, you know what? Maybe he can be a guy, but that's asking a lot for anybody to say, hey, he's going to be a number one defenseman. Come on, that's pretty hard to do for anybody.
He's not even 20 years old yet either. So if he is going to be one, it's probably not going to be right away.
Yeah. Well, he already played his games last year and he looked pretty good in those games that he played, man. So he'll be somebody to watch for sure. I think he's pretty dynamic young player, right? Really dynamic. So, but not overly big. So that's, he's going to need a huge partner or something to help him there.
A lot of movement though. A lot of stuff going on around the league.
Yeah. The Byram trade came after our show late last night, Spec. What do you make of that deal?
I don't know. Bowen Byram has been coveted here. Now he's on his third team, which sometimes it just means you're a good player and everybody wants you. And sometimes it means the teams you play for a while realize they don't need you anymore. Chicago gave up a lot for him, and he needs to get signed, right?
Yeah. Well, Chicago's got a boatload of cap space. I think, he's got 1 year left, right? He doesn't need to be signed until next year. So, he's got 1 year left.
You give up that much for him, you're signing him. You're not going to.
You're
not going to not sign him.
No doubt.
So is the guy that Colorado moved on, that Buffalo moved on, is that the guy you're going to build around on your back end in Chicago? Chicago's that rebuild's been going on for a while here, and it needs to start to make a little progress. Like, you can't just keep drafting 18-year-olds. Some of those draft picks have to turn into decent players, and now they've done that with Byram. So there's got to be some traction in Chicago here, Jay, pretty quick, don't you think?
I think it's 100%, which is why I think they made the trade, because you could hold on and get another good player at number 4, and then you don't know how good he's going to be. Like, Byram was a number 4 draft pick 5 years ago, and I was looking up at his numbers. People are like, oh, he's not that good. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? He's like 8th in even strength points from his draft class. He's a defenseman. He's like top 5 in time on ice, in hits, penalty minutes. Like, he's physical. He can score points, and he's never really got to run a power play because you got Dahlin and Makar ahead of him. And so now he's going to get that opportunity. I just remember him as a young player in Vancouver, and I'm like, this guy's got so much swagger and so much skill, and he's got some bite to his game. His dad was super tough, and Byron's only 6'1", but he's thick and he's mean. And I look at Chicago with all their other young defensemen. It's a great thing. So you've got Alex Vlasic, right? But then you got Wyatt Kaiser, and you got Levshunov, and you got Sam Rizzo. Like, they've got a lot of good young D, but you need an proven NHL defenseman who's going to move the puck up. Connor Bedard was a little bit of a freedom fighter last year, Spec, and he was still top 5 in scoring before he got hurt, right? With Frank Nazar. I just think that they felt like we got to get some offense. We got to get some puck movers on the back end, and it's going to make our offense even better. And that's how I view it here.
Yeah, Norm McIver, who played for Edmonton as an assistant GM there, and he's a big believer in that. But hey, McDavid talked today about Babcock, and we're talking about a bunch of guys from other teams. Do you think that if his ice time changes significantly, if Draisaitl has if they change the roles at all, do you think there will be much change? And if they do, how do you think those guys will take it?
Well, I don't really think, like, is 2 minutes a game going to really bother them? Like, honestly, I don't see it being a big deal. And like this whole thing, if they play less, they're going to score less. Nikita Kucherov sticks his hand up in the corner and says, hello, I had a higher points per game by playing 2.5 minutes less per game. Right now, he's not on the penalty kill. So get rid of the penalty kill minutes for McDavid. He doesn't score points there anyway, right? Like, that's not offensive minutes at all. It's harder minutes that don't lead to anything beneficial. So to me, it's a no-brainer to get him off the penalty kill. Now, if you want to give him the odd second shifts here, they're fine, but he's not going to be there. I will strongly, and I've been looking at it, Spec, and I got the numbers coming up in stat, but I will tell you, when it comes to the Edmonton Oilers, and these people who say, well, you know what? First unit power play, you got to get other guys involved. Wrong. Totally. Do you know how many of the Oilers power play goals last year were scored after a minute 20?
How many?
16 out of the 67. Okay, so they're scoring the first 20 seconds, the first 30, first minute, even went up to a minute 20. And then some of those were like a minute 21, a minute 25, right? So they're still on. So to me, I've got the best freaking power play in the NHL. And I'm gonna weaken it. No, I'm gonna say, get off the penalty kill, and I'll take a shift, one shift every 30 minutes, 5-on-5 away from you guys. That's 2 shifts a game. That's $140 plus your penalty. There's my 2 minutes, my penalty kill time. Like, this thought about removing them off the first, give me a break. It's the best power play got in the league. Your record's way better when your power play scores. Your second unit's not going to be as good. There's no chance your second unit's going to be 30%. So why the hell would you take that big of a risk for over an extra 20 seconds for your second unit? No way.
I don't think that's really the place you see finding a lot of minutes for anyone else anyway. I mean, if you do, it's a 20-second shift at the end of a power play. I'm not sure that's where if you're talking about taking some minutes away from the top guys, I'm not sure that's where it is. I also wonder how, Evan Bouchard will greet this guy, Babcock. Unfortunately, when Evan said before last season started, he said to me, what I got to do is my worst games have to be better than they've been. And unfortunately, last season, he had tons and tons of good games. He had 95 points. But when he had a bad one, it was a real stinker sometimes. And that's what he's got to kind of deal with. How do you think Babcock will deal with a bad Evan Bouchard game?
I would guess it's going to be, if you make one really egregious play, he's going to stop it right there. Mix a few shifts, and then, okay, now you get back on track. Rather than, you made one real bad one, now it's by 5. No, I think, and depending on the mistake, I really think DJ Smith, having talked to DJ yesterday about Evan Bouchard, and he had a really good answer about Evan Bouchard and, the giveaways. And he's like, people talk about being nonchalant. And he said, hey, his nonchalantness can be a negative, but it's also a major positive. And he described, he goes, this guy sits in the pocket like quarterbacks, and he'll stay in the pocket way longer, and he'll wait for the play because he really believes, A, he can make it, and B, it's going to come. And so it's just a matter of knowing, and I think he used the analogy, even Dan Campbell punts sometimes, which is funny. Anybody who follows the NFL knows it because, they gamble all the time. So even then, at some point, you're like, you know what? Not the time. Let's live to fight another day. And so I don't think it'll be that difficult for Bouchard. It's the people that think he's supposed to be a perfect freaking player. And the minute he makes one mistake, now it's over and you got to yell and scream about it. Like, I could go over every defenseman who has the puck. They're going to all make mistakes. So it's just a matter of you can't make egregious ones at a bad time repeatedly.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's you make the point. You go watch Makar play every night. He makes mistakes. Quinn Hughes makes mistakes. Bouchard just tends, his tendency, certainly last season anyhow, his tendency was to make some really big mistakes as the last guy back when not necessarily pressured that much. Like I guess what I'd say to you is a lot of times I watch a Bouchard mistake and I think that wasn't even that hard a play. Like, I've seen him make such harder plays. He does amazing things. He's an unbelievable player. And the place where he lets up, it's more a mental mistake than a physical mistake. So all of those things come with getting a little more consistent. And I liked his analogy. I liked when he said it. My worst games have to be better. Every guy has bad games, right? Every player has nights when they're not that good. And Bouchard just needs to find a way to survive those nights without being -3. That's all.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair. I would look at, and I just don't think it's like, I think people expect guys to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect.
No, not going to be perfect.
But last year, like, I actually think it's more so the offensive zone giveaways on blind passes.
Yep.
That, to me, those ones don't get talked about, but I felt they happen more often. Not by Bouchard, sure. By the top guys, and I'll be curious about how those get analyzed by the coach.
And Babcock went on the other day about being organized when you're coming out of the offensive zone. So what that basically means is not selling out so much on offense that when it does get turned over unexpectedly, you're dead and it's and it's in your net. And that, now we're getting pretty deep down the coaching well, but there's certain passes to places that you probably shouldn't make that some of these, Edmonton has some high skill guys and they try stuff that other guys don't try. But I guess I'd say to you, I'm okay with Draisaitl floating that backhand pass in the first period and second period because he's a superstar and he can do it and he's good at it. One of the best. When it's the third period and it's a 3-2 game, you probably got to put that backhand pass in your pocket and save it for the first period of the next game. That's probably where we end up on that. We're not saying you can't pull it off, Leon. We're saying this isn't the time to try to pull it off. And that's probably where a guy like Babcock gets on those guys a little more is game management, score management, right? When's it time to be risky? When's it time not to be risky?
Yeah, no, that's fair. That is, I look at the Oilers and we'll see kind of how they deal with things. Spec, do you feel that will Stan Bowman make a trade before free agency?
I think like before free agency, I think he has to. I think this Nurse thing has to come to fruition. I think he needs to know what his cap situation is. And somehow, some way out of this Nurse thing, your cap situation is going to change. There's 9.25 going the other way. You're going to get something back, but how much? 4 million back, 6 million back. Let's say you get 6 million back. That's still 3.25 to go get somebody. So yeah, you can't. This Nurse thing has to get settled out before July 1st for sure. Hopefully a couple days before that, so you can get out in the market and start figuring things out. So yeah, my answer to your question is for sure they're not dragging Nurse into July here. Do you think they are? Someone said today he might come back. I don't see a chance any place that Nurse comes.
I'd be very surprised if it happened, but I do know, Spec, right now, my understanding is I've been able to get 3 teams, Pittsburgh, Philly, Boston, that are on the list. And I'm not sure if there's any more. I know that for third. There might be another one. I haven't got confirmation 100%. It's not a long list. And so, I've talked to people in Philly, you look at what they would look at and others. And because next summer, Spec, Nurse has a 10-team no trade list. That's it. So you can, if you have to bite the bullet rather than just give them away for nothing, you might do it. So I agree with you. It's probably unlikely, but he might have to expand his trade request potentially. And that's part of the negotiation.
That's part of the negotiation. It's absolutely fair. This is an invented trade list at this point, right? It's an invented one. There's nothing in writing that says he even had to give you any trade list. Look at what happened with Brady Tkachuk. He wanted to go to Florida. Minnesota made, by all accounts, a better offer, and he ended up in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So, Darnell's not that powerful a player. I think he sees that it's time to move on, and I think he's got to play ball probably a little bit more. But, there are no rules on this trade list, Jay. It could be 3 teams. It could be 15 teams. It's really up to the Nurse camp as to how badly they want to move out of Edmonton. And I would suggest to you, there's got to be a deal there. There's got to be a deal with Pittsburgh or Philly or somebody. And I think it should happen soon enough.
Spec, have yourself an awesome day. We will chat with you tomorrow.
Sounds good, Jay.
There you go. That's Mark Spec. The Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. Quick break. We'll return on the Gregor Show. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca.
You may get up early, but more than likely, the team at GS Construction have already gotten up before you, grabbed a coffee, headed to the site, and started their day. So while Edmonton wakes up, GS crews are already underground, quietly keeping things moving, upgrading, and laying the new underground infrastructure for our growing city. If you're the kind of person who goes to sleep with their steel-toed boots on, GS Construction wants to hear from you. We're looking for a maintenance foreman as well as a building and yard attendant. Visit gsconstruction.ca for more.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice. EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365. UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking. Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service. Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project. Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Our new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more. Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Canada's men's rugby team at Clark Stadium. July 4th, Canada takes on Spain. July 11th, a doubleheader as Canada battles Portugal and Tonga faces Spain. Build the home field advantage for Team Canada. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
School's almost out, and road trip season is just around the corner. But if your brakes sound like they're grinding harder than a hockey fourth liner, it might be time to visit Napa Auto Parts. Napa has all the quality parts, tools, and know-how to help keep your vehicle running smoothly and road ready. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
It's finally time to escape your four walls and see where your four wheels can take you. Sherwood Honda helps you head out on the road the way you want to, with the right vehicle, including freedom-seeking SUVs that give you the versatility to drive where, when, and how you want to. It sure would do some good to get out and stretch your horizons, and sure would be easier with Sherwood Honda.
Portions of this hour are brought to you by CanTorque, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at CanTorque.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
.533, welcome back as we roll through Wednesday afternoon. Blue Jay game coming up after our show, so be sure to tune in for that. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. It's time to get to our stats of the day, brought to you by All-Star Construction, founded in 2009. Becoming the largest contractor in their space in land development, power, and gas installation, and they are hiring gas pipe technicians, hydrovac operators, construction laborers, and more. Check it out at All-Star Construction. So let's get to some of the stats of the day. I'm going to start just further on to the Oilers power play because, a lot of people have mentioned, oh, you know what, you got to give other players opportunity. And to me, that's a little bit of a participation ribbon mentality. When you say, well, other teams do it, yeah, other teams don't have the best power play in the league. And I'm telling you right now, when you take off the number one unit and you put on the second unit, your power play percentage and chance of scoring goes down significantly. So the Oilers power play last season, they had 9 goals in the first 20 seconds. And I'm only using 5-on-4 because 5-on-3 is a very rare part. 16 goals in the first 30 seconds, 31 goals in the first minute, 45 goals in the first minute 20. And then there were 16 goals in the final 40 seconds that they scored. And Matt Savoy had 3 of those. Some of those were by the second unit. So why would you alter the best power play the NHL has ever seen? Historically, over time, the best single season power play, they were 30% last year. If you look at their power play over the last 5 years, they're over 3% better than every team, and they're 5% better than every team except Tampa, Toronto, Dallas, and the New York Rangers. That is a significant advantage. It's the one thing that's not wrong in the Oilers. Why would you ever consider changing that? You want to change the penalty kill? Sign me up. Give me all your options. I don't think any of them can be bad. You want to change the 5-on-5 distribution? I'll listen to it. Power play? I'm sorry. I'm shutting it right down. Any thought of it makes little sense to me. Doesn't make any sense. None. Why would you do it? I want to get now. If you want to have some players split the first unit time, like they did that year with Hyman and Kane. If you feel like, I want one of the young shooters to take some of Nugent Hopkins' time, I could at least listen to that conversation. But I'm not doing it with McDavid, and I'm not doing it with Draisaitl. I'm taking him off the penalty kill. No, you want to lower minutes? That's where you lower minutes, where the odds of scoring are incredibly low. The Oilers' odds of scoring on a power play are incredibly high. Connor McDavid had 2 shorthanded points last year. Played over 100 minutes. Right? He had 54 power play points. I think it was, and I got to look at the exact, I'll get it here for him for the power play time. But if you look at just the difference, 54 power play points to 2 shorthanded. So his power play time was 300 minutes. Think about this. Actually, I was wrong on the shorthanded. He had 87 minutes on the power play and 295 power play, 87 shorthanded. Okay? So do the math. He had 2 points in 86 minutes, and he had 54 points in 295. I'm removing the 86 minutes. It's not even a thought. Not even a thought. And then if you want to lower his even strength time by a minute a game, there you go. There's your 2 minutes. 1 minute a game on the penalty kill. He was actually above that because he was at 87 in 82, so slightly above. But let's just round it up to a minute. Then you take away a minute of his, even a minute and a half if you want. There's 2.5 minutes. Done. Stop talking about taking away power play minutes. That makes zero sense. The only way you do it is if you're leading games and it's late and you want to get some guys some cookies, no problem. But no other reason to do it. Now, speaking of numbers, how about this, Connor Halley? 2 years ago, the Chicago White Sox set the MLB modern record for losses in a season. 121. Their record was 41 wins and 121 losses. That was in the 2024 season. Suddenly, the Chicago White Sox, who started slowly, by the way, are now first place in their division with a record of 41 and 37. They've already won as many games this year. We're not even at the All-Star break, and they're 41 and 37. You're a White Sox fan, like you experienced the worst season ever. And within less than 18 months, 20 months, I guess, your team now has as many wins already in, late March, April, May, and June. So good for them. Also, did you know that the PGA, beginning in 2028, is going to operate on 2 tracks? There's going to be the Championship Series and the Challenger Series. They're both going to run at the same time from February through to August. And there's going to be a promotion/relegation system. Any fans of European soccer, you probably know what I'm talking about. So the Championship Series will have a baseline of 15 regular season events with about 120 golfers, 36-hole cut, and at least a $20 million purse. Then, of course, you got the Players' Championship, the playoffs, Ryder Cup, President's Cup, all that stuff. The Challenger will have fields of about 144 golfers, and there'll be 20 events. Minimum purse in each one will be at least $4 million. Basically, lots of them are going to be PGA golfers. Now, the promotion and relegation, and here's where it gets interesting, because we've never really seen this in North America. The top 20 players in the Challenger Series will be promoted to the championship with immediate promotion available to anyone who wins either 2 events or a major. The top 90 championship players will remain in their track, while the remaining 40 or so are eligible for relegation. So basically, out of those 40, you're going to have 20 guys up and down from the Champions Series to the Challengers Series, Cons. And it's a big deal, man. What do you make of golf having a little European soccer flair to it?
I like it. I like that you can put it in there. Obviously, it's not going to work for a lot of sports North American style because you don't have that type of setup. You have the affiliates and all like that sort of thing. But for golf, for an individual, I like it. I think that's cool for a guy to be rewarded and go on a bit of a run and get that boost up to the big tour. I like the idea. I like the incentive, and it gives us a storyline, especially, we go to a major event and the guy's playing there for the first time. You hear their story. I think it's pretty cool.
I'm interested. Now, the top 90 make it. So my question is it really ever going to be like, unless you're like a diehard golf fan, will we might see some guys later on in their career, Cons, get relegated. I'm just, I wonder if we're going to see like legit guys kind of in the prime of their career get relegated.
Probably not. You'd have to go on a bit of a fall.
Yeah.
And then I wonder, nah, I'm not relegating. I'm just going to call it a career. I wonder if there's any sort of like, stigma behind falling into that one. Maybe some guys would rather just hang it up than continue.
Potentially. So I do kind of like it. There's some stats of the day brought to you by All-Star Construction. Also the other stat I missed, the Edmonton Elks looking to go 3-0 for the first time since 2017. Now, do you remember the 2017 season, Connor? So, fun stat for you.
Mm-hmm.
The Elks finished 12-6 that year. Pretty good record, right?
Yeah.
They started the year 7-0. Then they lost 6 in a row, and then they won their final 5 games.
Streaky.
That might be the most streaky team ever. 7 wins, 6 losses, 5 wins. So the Elks got a long ways to go to have the best start in franchise history, but it was they're off to a good start in 2026, and they'll look to continue it against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers tomorrow night. We'll have lots of green and gold talk on the show tomorrow. We'll take our final break. We'll come back with Cam Tate. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney
call
and
it
Pixar's
the
Toy
Maple
Story 5
Gordy.
in theaters June 19th.
1440.
Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Boxing Day is back at Brick. Find amazing deals all weekend long, like save $1,000 off a genuine leather reclining sofa. Save up to 40% off select mattresses, plus get a 10% instant credit to use towards sleep accessories. And find the lowest prices of the year on select beds, dining tables, and chairs. Don't miss the return of Boxing Day this Saturday and Sunday, only at The Brick. Exclusions apply. See you in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Novo Blinds is your home ice advantage for window coverings. Edmonton's own custom manufacturer with over 300 5-star reviews from homeowners, builders, and commercial contractors. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
To the person who doesn't know a dahlia from a dandelion, hi, your Safeway PA announcer here. Don't worry, that's our job. So enjoy our wide range of custom bouquets, build your own, and other seasonal options. Whether you know the names or not, that's the beauty of it. Whether you're celebrating a birthday, an anniversary, or just need a pop of color in the man cave, just say the occasion and our floral team will take care of the rest. For fresh flowers, visit a Safeway near you.
Hey there, it's Brandon Douglas from Sports 1440. I was tired of slow, unreliable internet connections, so I signed up for Starlink. It's fast, reliable even in bad weather, and has made streaming for movie nights and online gaming so much better. The summer doesn't mean a break from watching sports, and I've been streaming all the games seamlessly when at the family farm, despite the remote location. If you're ready for a better internet experience, you can order online in 2 minutes at starlink.com/radio or call 1-888-GO-STARLINK.
Nissan's through once again, and they've done it 12 years straight. Nissan ropes a 2026 Best Buy winner from Consumer Guide Automotive for 12 years in a row. The Score with Nissan event is on, and qualifying Nissan owners can score by leasing a 2026 Rogue S for the equivalent of $99 weekly at 0% for 36 months with $0 down. Visit Nissan.ca for details. $430 monthly. Includes $1,100 Nissan bonus and 0.4% loyalty rate reduction. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Mortgages to Go. Need cash and have equity in your home? Mortgages to Go has you covered. When the bank says no, they say yes, and they've been doing it in Alberta for over 23 years. Call 1-888-888-5998 or visit mortgagestogo.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$5:47. We roll through. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Gregor Show, always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Be sure to get in. Lotto 649 tonight. 18 million up for grabs. PlayAlberta.ca. As it is time to get to the 2-minute warning. Brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. You plan ahead before it gets a little too hot. Because trust me, the heat is coming, boys and girls. When it comes, you want to be cool. LegacyHeating.ca. Here is the man, the myth, the legend, Cam Tate.
We're going to call it the Maple Gordy. Let's say it again. The Maple Gordy. Come on, over there in the corner, Kruger, and turn your cap around. The Maple Gordy. It came to me on the way home from watching the soccer game. Canada fell to Switzerland 2-1 earlier today in Vancouver. So the Canadians have won a match, tied one, and lost one. 3 things, right? So let's borrow a bit of the Gordie Howe hat trick. Goal, assist, and a fight. Gordie Howe hat trick. The Maple Gordy. Brings everything together, like the stars all linging with. Well, something. Gregor made a good point. Canada's defense folded like Uncle Pete's proverbial $15 pup tent, giving up not 1, but 2 goals, consecutive goals in the second half. But Heat offense has to be a concern. They get 2 hat tricks, 2 sets of 3 goals. A 6-win earlier in the week. Then today, 1 goal. That's it, Connor Halley. Help me now. 1 goal. In a game that, a win or draw, stays in Canada for the next round. Now, Jesse's March's outfit heads to Los Angeles for a match Sunday. There was some entertaining soccer near the end of the game as the Canadians had a few chances to tie. And I'm not trying to put the cart before the cart here, but I'm ready to argue, especially with Kruger, this World Cup has been a success for the Canadians. Has to be. All the way to Grandma's. A win, a draw. The firsts ever for Canada. Ever. On the other hand, it will be interesting to see how far this group can go. We'll get out that in a few days. We already have a Maple Gordy. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to pour some syrup on it. Maple, of course. 2-minute warning. This is Cam Tate, Sports 1440.
Well, I'm looking forward to Sunday now. No question, Cons. You got to get off, scrape yourself off the pitch, and away we go. Now it's an elimination game. The nerves get ratcheted up a bit. We knew going into today's game, Canada was either going to finish first or second. First definitely would have been an easier path. But now Korea is not unbeatable by any stretch of the imagination, right? Because I'll say if Canada could get to be one, you win in 32, now you're to the round of 16. That's a pretty big step, I would think, especially with some of the injuries. They're going to have to get some guys back. I don't think there's much question about that. They will need guys back. Obviously, if Alfonso can play, that helps. Stachio, I think they missed him a lot today as well. I don't know. I didn't see anything. Obviously, we're on air. Was there any mention if he's going to be available for the next game?
I didn't hear anything, but I agree with you. I mean, yeah, getting some bodies back. I kind of think, Gregor, had this been a normal World Cup, just getting out of the group stages would have been enough. But with the expanded format, a few, air quote, weaker teams, another win would be absolutely just the cherry on top for this one. Now, there is still a chance. I mean, you said South Korea, and if they handle their business tonight, that will be the opponent. But it could be Czechia or South Africa. When I watched Korea against Mexico, I saw a team that was beatable. Mexicans could have had some more chances. Korea had a couple, but just kind of not really great play inside the 18 box. So, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see. And just, I mean, Alphonso Davies, he's going to be the topic of discussion once again here. How close is he? What situation would have been required for him to get in the game? I mean, I don't think there was any chance he was going in.
Wasn't.
So, yeah, I mean, he'll continue to be a storyline, but Canada plays their game, and I think a little more aggressive, cleans up those things, because that second goal, there was 3 Canadians on 1 Swiss player. Like, as soon as it broke down, it's like they just, forgot everything, followed the ball, let a guy come in clean for kind of an easier goal. So could have been saved too. That's the thing. Kerpo actually got his hands on it, went right through him. But yeah, it a little sour taste in your mouth, I think, after that one, and now a great opportunity depending on who it's going to be on Sunday.
Well, it's most likely Korea, right?
Yeah, if Korea wins and over South Africa tonight, they'll be punching their ticket through.
No, okay. So, but if they lose or draw, what can happen?
Well, if they were to lose here, let's see, they would get through unless, like, if Mexico wins too, then it won't matter. It would you Czechia to win, and then all of a sudden we're getting into tiebreakers.
Okay.
And I guess it would be goal differential as well. How many goals are scored? Korea is just going to check here quickly. Their win came over Czechia 2-1. So right now they're even in terms of goals for, goals against.
Yeah.
So yeah, we gotta wait and see how it all plays out tonight. But I think the safe pick would be Korea to get the job done. They're favorites going into this.
Yeah, definitely. It feels that way. And you know what? Hey, that Korea-Czechia game was a great match on the opening night. I really enjoyed watching that game. But Korea is not a dominant one. They're not easy by any stretch of the imagination. It will be tough, and we'll see. But hopefully you got some health, and it'll be a fun game. What time is that game on Sunday? 1 o'clock Edmonton time?
Yeah, 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock Edmonton time. So plan ahead. It's not going to impact with your free agency. Of course, that's next Wednesday. We'll have free agency show with Low Tide and some special guests starting at 10 a.m. on Canada Day. We'll return tomorrow. We got lots on the green and golds. We set them up against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. We got Cody Fajardo and much, much more. On behalf of Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, I'm Jason Gregor. Enjoy your evening. We got Blue Jays baseball coming up next. But first, here's the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. If you're looking for a vehicle, goauto.ca. 15,000 to choose from. Your color, your brand, over 73 locations, goauto.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Okay, so we missed it earlier today. Canada fell to Switzerland 2-1 at the World Cup. They'll finish second in Group B, taking on the second spot team from Group A. Sunday, 1 o'clock from Los Angeles. There's a chance for Korea, Czechia, or South Africa. Those teams all meeting tonight. Mexico and the Czechs, South Africa and Korea. Right now, Brazil on top of Scotland 3-0 in the 90th minute. And in extra time, Morocco leads Haiti 4-2. Forward Alex Tuck is heading to the Washington Capitals in the sign-and trade with a third-round pick going back to the Buffalo Sabres. The Caps and Tuck then agreeing to a contract extension, 8 years, $84 million, while the Nashville Predators